Unreasonable and arrogant, the big one is the dowry. Compared to the dowry, Mu Qianxi's food and clothes is simply a drop in the bucket. In order to marry Xinyuan Li Tian, the previous Mu Qian let out a great sum of dowry to the emperor of the Purple Moon Kingdom. When the emperor saw the list, he immediately decreed for them to marry. An inexhaustible supply of golds and jewelries, 10,000 immortality elixirs. The emperor swallows all of it into the imperial treasury, clearly not afraid to die. Mu Qian's face is gloomy. The emperor of the Purple Moon is obviously selling his son. Now that she returned, everything that the emperor swallowed, he will spit it all out. She returned the defective goods. Naturally, the other party has to refund. She's not a cheapskate, but when it comes to these types of people, she really need to get back at them for what they did in order to make Mu Qian more uncomfortable. The elders said the things she spent one after another. Lord, although you are young and not sensible enough, why do 10,000 taels aren't enough for you? You're being extravagant. That's right, The Lord spends thousands of gold every day. We Mu Jia disciples can't even eat meat. Don't you think the Lord is being excessive? At this rate, our whole clan will fall because of you. When that happened, how can we face the old Lord? Exclamation point. She slaps her hand on the table. These old guys are afraid to continue to place the blame on Mu Qianxi. Mu Qian slowly stood up. The purple dress with silver embroideries outlines her perfect curve. Her eyes are dark like the night. Her every hand movements are confident and at ease. Mu Jia is what my father had left me. I love to spend money. So what? Why do you all care on what I ate and what I wear? Did you guys pay it for me? No. The answer is no. Dare to reprimand me. Compare to me. You elders are much more profligate. Second elder. You say I ate a lot of expensive foods? That is because of your granddaughter, who indulges me to buy all of it. Even the dowry given to the emperor is your granddaughter's brilliant idea. Since you're absolutely wrong, let your granddaughter be my scapegoat. After all, if she did not say all of it, then I wouldn't do any of it at all. Now, what do you elders think? This is a wise decision, isn't it? Mu Qian let out a playful smile. The second elder heard Mu Qian's shameless words. He was so angry that even arguing with her almost caused him to vomit blood. These things are your own doing. You wanted to throw the dirty water on Yuner? You've already hurt Yuner ruthlessly before. Isn't that already enough? I'm the Lord, but she was given more cultivation resources than me. Now you're asking me if it isn't enough. Clearly you're joking, right? For everything that she had done to me, shouldn't she offer her life? Mu Qian raised an eyebrow. In addition to the dowry, the previous Mu Qian, she allotted a huge sum of money to the two sisters for them to buy cultivation resources and elixirs. Without the help of those things, how can Mu Ruyun become a genius? The second elder shouted. You're simply making trouble without reason. Me? Making trouble? Second elder, do not forget. I Mu Qian, she is the Mu Jia's lord. She coldly said. She walked away from where she'd stood before and pointed the lord's position in the hall. If you do not recognize me as the lord, then step up there to be the lord of this clan. The elders looked at each other. As long as someone takes a step, I'm afraid the third master won't keep them alive. PFT. Ha ha ha. Mu Qian softly laughed. Since you are all cowards and do not dare to be the lord, then please remember this one thing. I Mu Qian, she is the Mu Jia's lord, no matter what. Actually, you're all right about one point. No one from the group of you elders deserves the word lord. Without my father and uncle, you're just a bunch of old men. The elders are cursed one by Mu Qian. The ninth elder looked up to the Mu Qianxi. His mouth twitched slightly. In the past, this little girl is weak and timid, but now this little girl is like an evil tyrant. Vicious, but not evil. The way she admonish is really good. The elders have been scolded. Mu Qian, she who was once a timid mouse, now turned to a purple bully, both unreasonable and arrogant. Lord, forgive these servants. We wouldn't dare to pursue on this matters. The great elder bowed and respectfully said. The second elder is confused. What is he doing? How can we deal with this girl if we won't pursue anymore? The great elder then added. But the Lord is still young and our capital is limited. So I think we still must control the expenses of the Lord. Mu Qian smiled mischievously. Control? Don't know how much the elders intend to control? 1,000 silver taels are enough for the Lord to spend. Do you really think that's enough? As long as the Lord won't be extravagant like before, it is absolutely enough. Mu Qian pointed to them and said, You say that the Lord only needs 1,000 silver taels a month, then all of you elders should just spend 10 taels a month. That is fair enough, right? A few elders almost spurted blood. 10 silver taels. What a joke. The great elder quickly said, My lord, don't be foolish. There are hundreds of people in our family who are young and old. I am the Lord but only have 1,000 taels, then it is just right for the elders to only have 10 silver taels. Although these people have the same surname as her, but that was because her father recruited or bought them as slaves. Because of their talents, her father let them take care of the family business. Did not think that more than 10 years have passed, said. They really thought that their surname is Mu the same with her family, and they will be able to control the Mujia freely. The great elder had a headache. Lord, this cannot be counted on. I. His words have not yet finished, but he was interrupted by Mu Qian. She said, Well, it's true that it's too small to give you 10 taels each per month. Even the purple moon imperial capital's beggars eat 2 times half a month. So elders, shall we have a bet? She looked at them with a smile. All the elders froze. Bet? What kind of bet? Mu Qian words left them in a daze. Before, Mu Qian is a young chick. Whatever she said, they can immediately draw the line, but now, they needed to pay attention on every word coming out from her mouth. Now this Mu Qian, she is like a gust of wind. They are not allowed to touch this gust of wind, else they will never know where she'll take them. The great elders said, What does the Lord mean? Mu Qian proudly said, Bet, of course the literal meaning. In the past, this Lord is free to spend every amount she wanted each month, but now you're saying that I only need 1,000 silver taels. With it being too little, how can you sure that I will fulfill that at all? 1,000 taels, she can't even afford an entry-level elixir with that amount. She absolutely won't let them succeed. However, I also know that the elders made such a decision for the sake of Mujia. The elders froze. The change of her temperament, from arrogant to the defenseless Lord, made them curious. So let's make a bet. I bet in 3 days that I'll earn 3 million gold taels. If I cannot do it, then I will only have 1,000 silver taels every month. Mu Qian is filled with smiles as she said this to the elders. Sorry I'm late, too busy with real life so. Yeah, hope you enjoy this chapter. I kinda lost interest translating when the elders are involved, especially the great and second elders. A bunch of ingrates. I want to be a hedonistic daughter of rich parents PFT. 3 million. And also in gold. Even if all of them worked their ass off for a whole 3 months, they still can't reach that kind of amount, let alone 3 days. Mu Qian making such conditions istrally crazy. It is way better for her if she directly agreed on their request to cut her allowance. The great elder frowned. He keeps having this feeling that it's not so simple. What if the Lord succeeds? If I do succeed, the elders will only get 10 silver taels per month, and I will have the absolute authority of the Mujia. Hiss! The crowd took a breath of cold air. Mu Qian not only wanted to use this bet to suppress them, but also wanted to remove their rights. The great elder summed. It isn't fair. If the Lord sells the Mujia's properties to earn those 3 million gold taels. Mu Qian looked at him like she saw an idiot and repeated. I already told you, I will earn 3 million gold taels in 3 days. Naturally, I will not use any Mujia's properties and will only do it by myself. With this answer, great elder, are you satisfied? The great elder racked his brain thinking what does Mu Qian she was going to do in order to earn the 3 million. He'd thought about it for a long time. If the Lord is going to exchange the elixir that the old Lord has left behind for money, then forget this deal. Great elder, do you have amnesia? My father indeed left the immortality elixirs to me, but your precious granddaughters, Mu Ruyan and Mu Ruyun, took some of it away. A big part of it has become a dowry that was put in the imperial treasury. I don't have any private goods left. He still isn't satisfied as he added. What if the Lord asked for help to the third master? Rest assured, earning 3 million gold taels is not a problem for this Lord. I don't need to trouble my little uncle with small matters like this. Mu Qian said confidently. No one will believe on everything she'd said. Even the nonchalant ninth elder doesn't believe that a single person can put together so much money in such a short period of time. In addition to the third master, Noon in the capital would loan her money, especially with that ridiculous amount. She also had no elixirs left to use. The great elder measured in his heart for a moment and finally made up his mind. This little girl is getting bolder, but also too arrogant and complacent. She got on her high horse and tried to gamble with them. But in the end, she still remained foolish. It seems that he overstated her. It looks like she only has her arrogance when making this bet. The great elder coughed and said, "Since the Lord had made her decision, then let's gamble. But in order for the Lord not to back out, let's make a contract." Because of Mu Qian's unforeseen and shameless acts before, the great elder that has always been cautious absolutely wouldn't let her get any upper hand. Mu Qian smiled and just said, "Sure." The old man did not mention anything anymore. Mu Qian wrote down the letter under the eyes of everyone and closed the deal with the Mu Jia's seal. The elders also enclosed it with their own seal. If someone refused to acknowledge this bet, it is tantamount to betraying the whole family. The pit has been dug. All she needs to do is wait for the old man to bury himself alive. Mu Qian yawned and said, "Since it's all right, then this lord will go back to my quarters to take a nap." Looking at the perfect back walking away, the great elder suddenly felt a turn of events will happen. If the lord loses, she can spend less. But if they lose, not only the money, they will even lose their rights. This bet is not fair at all, but he just thought that it's impossible for the lord to do it, so he decided to ignore it instead. With the great elder's rigorous schemes and deep foresight, he would not believe that he will fall to the pit dug by himself easily. If he himself can't earn 3 million, then it is absolutely impossible for a little girl like Mu Qian Shi. 3 days later, Mu Qian's expenses will not be limited. All the rights regarding the Mu Jia will fall on her. She will finally be the true lord of this clan. As long as the third master remained in the clan, they dare not have the illusion to be the lord. But they were tired of being trampled on by a silly little girl. After a late nap, someone came and reported to Mu Qian. "Little master, third master asked you to come." "Uncle asked for me?" Mu Qian hurriedly walked to Wu Yu courtyard. In the bamboo forest, she saw the white figure. She grabbed his hands and looked at him worriedly. "Did you take your medicine?" Mu Wushuang shook his head, and with a gentle voice he said, "With the little overlord commanding, how will this little uncle dare not obey?" "Huh, at least you know." Mu Qian nodded. Mu Qian approached to the side of Mu Wushuang and asked, "Little uncle must have known what happened today, right? Do you need my help?" She only has 3 days to earn the 3 million gold taels. Even his eldest brother or anyone in the purple moon can't do that, is what he thought. "I can just throw a few elixirs in the street, and then who knows, maybe I'll get lucky enough to get that amount." "Little uncle, I appreciate that you wanted to help me, but I can manage it on Miao." "Don't worry," Mu Qian calmly said. Mu Qian praised herself secretly. This is really a good way, Her family's uncle is a true black belly. Maybe, being a black belly runs in the family. The elder thought through all kinds of loopholes and agreed to bet in the end. But he did not think her little uncle has countless ways to break that contract without anyone finding out. "I'm sure he would vomit blood," Mu Qian said. "Little uncle, since it is me who made this bet, I won't cheat. It seems that Sheer has a solution already." Mu Wushuang's tone is filled with curiosity. "Little uncle, you just need to wait and see." A sly look appeared on Mu Qian's face. The two talked for a while, and then suddenly sighed. "Hey, can I ask something?" He knit his brow and asked, "Sheer, you're young, but how come you're used at making others angry?" He had always hoped that Sheer would be happy and free. Mu Qian, who's currently pushing Mu Wushuang's wheelchair to his room, stopped and said, "Little uncle, in the capital, there are also people the same age as Medhat is doing this and that, living their life to the fullest without any care what others may say. I'm one of the Mu family members, right? Why does when it is my turn to be the lord, the elders are all making me tired from aloft their tricks? They also wanted me to clean up their mess." "Sheer, do you want to leave?" Mu Wushuang interrupted her and asked. "I don't want to leave. but I'll make sure to live my days here to the fullest in the future. Eat delicious foods, wear whatever I want. I want to experience the life of being a spoiled child. I will do my utmost to stop them from getting more power. So, little uncle, you better get well soon. When you're cured, you better let me live the life of a second generation. Okay. Mu Qian brightly smiled. She made up her mind to cure her little uncle quickly for her laid-back days. Mu Wushuang's ice-cold hands were held by Mu Qian's warm hands. That's right. She is her favorite little princess then and now. Mu Wushuang nodded and patted her head. Little uncle will get better soon. I will definitely make your wishes come true as soon as possible. Mu Qian holds Mu Wushuang's hand tighter and said, Yup, let's do that together. When little uncle is healthy already, you have to cover for me. Mu Qian is extremely glad to have this little uncle. Mu Wushuang looked lifeless at most time. It is as if he has no attachment to the world aside from her. This is her guardian, her only relative for now. She really wants him to live well. One day had already passed, said, but Mu Qian still did not go out. What is she doing? The great elder asked while frowning. Oh, every Mu Wushuang scenes heals my heart. Borrow your enchanting look for me to use. The Lord has been at home all day. She just eats and sleeps. It appears that she didn't do anything. What is she trying to do? Our deal was only 3 days, and she'd already wasted one. The great elder couldn't keep up with Mu Qian. He had no idea on what she will try sell. Don't say that the elders was the only one who doesn't know. Even Mu Qian's contractor, Ting, also do not know what she's going to do. Hey, ugly woman, you only have 3 days to earn that 3 million. Say, how are you going to earn that amount? Mu Qian rolled her eyes and said, You only know how to sleep. You can't even guess that simple thing? I'm so afraid that you'll be able to pull down my intelligence by signing a contract with you. Ting gnashed his teeth and angrily said, Mu Qian, you dare to say I'm stupid? I will tear you up. You don't have a body, yet you want to tear me up? Haha, dream on. When my strength is enough to gain my physical body, I promise to make you look real good. I fear that you will not have the ability. The two continued to bicker until he can't help but ask again. Just tell me, what are you going to do? What is the talent of this lord? Don't say you don't know, else you're blind. You can make poisons, but that won't do. You can't sell those for 3 million gold taels. You're joking with me. Don't tell me you're just waiting for the time when your expenses are cut and then have nothing good to eat? Besides being good at poisons, I'm good at other things too. So just keep your eyes peeled and watch. After that, Mu Qian went out and turned to the refining room. Ling Zilin saw Mu Qian then froze. Lord, what are you doing here? She laughed. My hand itches, go and prepare. Also fetch me some things. Don't forget the herbs. Ling Zilin clearly looked as if he had worked here for years. He's so familiar inside that in just a short time, and he already completed all the things she needed. Lord, we're all set. Good. Start the fire. Yes. In the next moment, Ling Zilin saw a miracle happened. The Lord is refining elixirs. However, the way she refined is completely different with other alchemists. The technique is more brilliant, like a gorgeous show in general. When she was about to add the dew water, Ting's voice suddenly came and said, You can use your spiritual water for refining immortality elixirs. The level of things you've been refining is low level, and the same with the dew water you wanted to use. Even though Ting's mouth is filled with poison, but his every reminder is very effective. While Mu Qian is refining, she awakened the power of the eternal ring, Water God Dragon Ring. In a moment, a water dragon goes into the furnace together with other refining ingredients. How beautiful! Ling Zilin looked at the blue water dragon. It appears that the Lord is a water alchemist. In this world, there are 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Few alchemists have the elements that complements on their refining method. Having an innate element means more advantage for the alchemist and will help them in the long way. Success. The last step is completed. Mu Qian's mouth evoked a smile. She checked the finished product and discovered that with the spiritual water, the elixir had increased its effectiveness. After putting it into a bottle, Mu Qian proceeded on making another one. She lasted until midnight on creating the last batch of elixirs. Mu Qian put 3 bottles of elixirs on the table and said to Ling Zilin, "These 3 bottles of elixirs are for you to use. Please help yourself tonight." "Lord, this is what I should do. These elixirs are not for someone like me to use. Lord, please, take it all back." Even though the Lord is just acknowledging his help and elixirs are only second compared to medicinal pills, but he saw the way she refined it. He can feel the powerful energy coming from the elixirs. The elixirs she refined are absolutely extraordinary. Mu Qian insisted, "I still have a lot here. Remember to take half a bottle, then cultivate every day. I assure you, there will be unexpected results. Also, the things that this Lord already gave, I won't take it back," Mu Qian said in a stern way, so that he could not refuse. The purple figure flashed. She disappeared in front of Ling Zilin. Mu Qian seems to forget about the bed in general, because she is still asleep in the middle of the day. All the elders thought that Mu Qian proposed that bet just to disguise her unwillingness. It was only because she couldn't afford to lose her face in front of them. Mu Qian at this time stretches her stiff muscles. After cultivating last night, she finally broke through the 4th stage, Spirit Warrior. But it's not enough. Still too weak. The distance between the standard strength that little uncle said is still far from reach. There are literally thousands and thousands of miles away. Mu Qian got up to the mirror, ready to add a little something to her face. She hasn't even started yet, but she heard Ting's shout, "Stupid! You're really stupid. You think that it's easy, huh? Even if you change the way you look, someone can still say it was you. To do this secretly, your approach would not work." She is still very satisfied with her own means of disguise, but Ting ignored all the things she tried to say. This is not the modern world, but a different world of spiritual training and martial arts. It is inevitable that this certain person isn't aware of her disguise. For this magical world, Ting understands it more. She laughed. "Master Ting, I don't know. So can you tell me what you think?" I know you can't do anything without me." Ting held his head high. She indulges his ego for a bit and added, "Master Ting, since you know a lot of information, you must give me an advice before it's too late. You and I have a contract. I can make you look like me without any flaws, as long as you don't do anything that is too feminine to embarrass me. Become like you?" In regard on using that fairy face, Mu Qian is very satisfied. "But isn't that too ostentatious?" "What? You don't like what I look like?" A ceasefire was made. "Yes, a little. Then go with your face. See if that plan is good, then let all the people in the mood jia that it was you who refined these elixirs. You are waiting to be a target." Her good mood before is clearly destroyed. She didn't think about it through. With Ting's warning, she remembered that it is not good to expose herself early, especially without having a lot of power. When someone stronger appears, it will definitely lead to a disaster. Mu Qian decided to go with Ting's plan. She coaxed him and said, "It's not that I dislike your appearance. I just think that you look so enchanting. I'm afraid that with me going out, I'll put pressure on your face. At least you know, don't worry, you're still my contractor. I'll give you a hand. Even if you embarrass me, I will forgive you." Mu Qian's mouth is twitching. This kid surely has a weird habit. Most of the time, he boasts about himself, clearly not caring if the other person is listening or not. "Connect with my mind. I will let you have my appearance." Good. A pale green light wrapped Mu Qian's shi. A little while later, the appearance of Mu Qian changed dramatically. Looking at herself in the mirror, Mu Qian secretly said in her heart, "This is simply the devil." Long gray-green hair slides down from the shoulders like a fine silk. Eyebrows as if painted with ink, cherry-red lips, skin as white as snow and eyelashes flashing like a turfly's wings. His clear eyes are a stunning light of green, imperceptible soul, like he can see through the past and present life. The whole person looked like a pure and innocent soul cannot be desecrated. At the thought of Ting's character, when she looked at this appearance, Mu Qian's mouth can't help but quiver. This appearance is simply deceiving the dead to pay for his life. Her face changed. Naturally, she also wanted to examine the body. Incredible elixir. Fortunately, although her appearance became Ting, she did not become a man. She can tolerate a flat chest, but it's unbearable. Ah Ting's mouth twitched. Stupid woman, what are you thinking? If I didn't change the appearance of it, how can you become a man? Mu Qian changed into a ready-made men's clothing, then searched out a cape to cover her head. She covered it firmly, but Ah Ting stopped her. Finally, this number one, most handsome man's face can go to the outside world. Yet, you're still secretive. Mu Qian's mouth twitched. The world's most handsome man. You are so narcissistic. She smiled and said seriously, are you even sure that the first is you? The dangerous man at most will rank second. The first is definitely me. Oh, I think my uncle is better than you. You are prejudiced. In the end, regardless of how Ah Ting protests, Mu Qian still strictly covered her head. Although this is a spiritual world, there's a strange hair and iris color, although not much. But there are people who had this, such as Xinyuan Juye's icy blue eyes. But Ah Ting's appearance is not like any human. If she goes out looking like him, it will definitely cause chaos that can reach ears of the Purple Moon's emperor, so she chose to keep a low profile. The number one auction house. Most people know it as the Snow Continent's number one chamber of commerce in their territory. It is also the first auction house of the Purple Moon Kingdom. A weird person covered in cape strictly entered the auction house, being the first auction house in the Purple Moon Kingdom. What weirdo does the workers here hadn't seen already? When she entered, a person came up and asked, what can I do for you? Mu Qian said, I'm here to sell something. Two souls connected. Let's Mu Qian's appearance to look like Ah Ting. But the voice was disguised by Mu Qian herself. That kind of deep as a violin-like voice was a pleasure to one's ears. The young man was slumped like in a drunken stupor said, guest, please go inside. At the first auction house, a middle-aged man about 45 years old who has a square-shaped face sat in the room filled with different gems and treasure. The middle-aged man looks ordinary, but his eyes are sharp. He asked, looking at the adorable Mu Qian, I don't know what this gentleman is about to sell. Mu Qian took out her hand and take an elixir from the spatial ring in her finger. She said, I want to sell this elixir. I'm afraid you're in the wrong place. We do not collect elixirs at this auction. The minimum is a high-grade medicinal pill. Elixirs, the kind with all sorts of herbs mixed together without any technical content whatsoever. It isn't profitable at all. Mu Qian didn't care at what he's trying to say. She simply asked, if I say that this elixir is equivalent to second-grade medicinal pills, will you still refuse? The middle-aged man thinks that she's just bluffing and said, this guest, I have been dedicated in this business for almost 30 years, but never heard of an elixir that can be used against a second-grade medicinal pill. Mu Qian felt that the middle-aged man take her for a fool. The reason that I've come here is because this is the number one auction house in the Purple Moon, nothing more. If you don't believe me, I can go to other places. She stands up and was about to head out but added, I shall take my leave then. Old sir, you'll know what you lost at the auction when the time comes. This person speaks with full confidence and does not seem to be a bluffing. As the chief appraiser of the first auction house of the Purple Moon, Master Yun has always been very accurate. This person will not be stupid enough to take his elixirs to the number one auction to cause trouble. Master Yun believed in his instinct and said, guest, wait. I really don't want us to get off on the wrong foot, so come here. I will take you to Master Bai to appraise your elixirs. Great Master Bai followed their young master when he came for a royal visit in the Purple Moon Kingdom. He is a mid-level alchemist. For this guest's elixirs, he should be more enough. May I trouble this guest to wait for a moment? This man gives an unfathomable temperament, so Master Yun is very polite to Mu Qian. At this time, an old man wearing white robe walked down. Little Yun, you asked me to come here. Did you encounter a difficult thing, which even you can't identify? I was just playing chess with the young master, and was about to win. What if there's no big deal? Master Yun whispered to Master Bai. This is the lad who wanted to sell an elixir. What? Elixirs in our auction? You're joking, right? Master Bai glanced at the young man's direction. But Master Bai, the lad said that the elixir is equivalent to a second-grade medicinal pills. That's not possible. White Master directly negates. But Mu Qian heard it all calmly said, Old man, the world is big. Even if you live for more than 100 years, that does not mean that you already know everything. There are some things you don't know that exist. Master Bai raises his eyebrow and said, "You are so bold. You dare to talk to me. Since you said that your elixir is equivalent to second-grade pill, then take it out and show it to this old man." All right. Mu Qian handed a bottle of elixir to Master Bai. Master Bai opened the bottle. When he tried to smell the elixir, the look on his face was frozen. Unbelievable. His old eyes slightly squint. He slowly said, "This elixir's fragrant." No. This elixir is indeed enough to crush a second-grade medicinal pill. But this is clearly an elixir. How can it be? This elixir was able to contain the medicinal properties to reach this point, and each kind of medicinal herbs used has played perfect roles. He was shocked, curious. His old face became more and more excited, as if discovering a new world. Master Yun also stares at his eyes. What the boy said, is it really true? Master Bai studied it for another half-hour, and then said, "Boy, I apologize for my ignorance. To have a great master to make this kind of elixir really puts my knowledge to a tip of an iceberg." Master Yun is frightened. Who is Master Bai? He's an intermediate alchemist. He was very proud to be an alchemist. Even if it is the Purple Moon Emperor's royal brother, he needs to be polite with him. But Master Bai apologized to a boy of unknown origin. Mu Qian smiled and asked, "Old man, can I put this elixir at your auction house?" "Of course. It's equivalent to a second-grade medicinal pill. We will be able to sell this in the auction in a high price." Master Yun excitedly said, "Everyone knows that every year in the Purple Moon Kingdom, only 10 pieces of immortality pills were auctioned. Even the Danjazong can only refine 2 pills at most." But the voice of Master Yun became smaller and smaller. "Forgive my bad eyesight and experience. If one does not know what it does, how can we sell it?" Mu Qian straightforwardly said, "This elixir can speed up one's cultivation 3 times to 5 times. This? How is that possible? Even if it is a third-grade medicinal pill, it can only increase the speed of cultivation twice. That's only natural. This will only work for people who have not yet reached Spirit Master, and it basically has no effect for a person who is already a Spirit Master. Even if it has a limit in level, this effect is scary enough. If this elixir really has this effect, it will definitely cause a sensation in the capital. The 10 major clans will go wild just to buy it for their clan's young cultivators." Mu Qian persuaded. "If you do not believe it, you can find a spirit warrior to try." Good. Master Yun believed in this elixir's magic. He was excited to witness a miracle happen. This is what Ting's supposed to look like. Just imagine his hair to gray-green instead of blonde, and has normal ear unlike in the picture. Before we start, I'd made a change in Mu Wushuang's strength. It seems that he's in the peak of Martial King. I still get confused on the strength and ranks due to the same words in Chinese. So yeah, hope you guys forgive me, crying face. He's the #1 strongest in the Purple Moon Kingdom, but due to his legs and eyes, that strength isn't at its best. Now back to the story. Is it just coincidence or not? Soon a person from the auction house with the strength of a 9th stage spirit warrior was invited to come. Master Yun said, "Drink this." Master Yun's position in the Snow's Chamber of Commerce is very high. The guard, without saying anything, took the elixir and drank it down. Mu Qian then added, "Try to work on your spiritual training." When the guard tried to feel his qi in his dantian, he was all startled. "What's happening? Why do I feel that my speed in absorbing qi is rising to 3 or 4 times than normal? Am I being possessed? OD. I've been stuck on my bottleneck for almost 5 years. I want to qualify as a spirit master since then. I was ready to give up, but have never thought that in this life there is still a chance to break through." The guard almost cried with emotion. Master Yun and Master Bai turned to Mu Qian's direction, both with a look of horror in their faces. Master Yun waved. "You can go back, continue your cultivation, put a lot of effort." Master Bai said, "Son, for that bottle of elixir, we'll pay you 300,000 gold taels." But Mu Qian insisted, "No need, that bottle of elixir. Consider it as a token for starting my business with your auction house. I still got 10 bottles of elixirs here. You can auction these instead." Master Bai took a breath of cold air. 10 bottles. Mu Qian dropped 2 more bombs and said, I also have spirit blood elixir here. This elixir can stop any bleeding in an instant and make the wounds recover for half an hour. Lastly, the Spirit Master Breakthrough Elixir. This elixir will successfully bypass the bottleneck to be a Spirit Master by 100%. Looking at the 3 kinds of elixirs placed in front of them, a total of 30 bottles, Master Yun and Master Bai felt numb. Master Bai couldn't believe himself, so he asked, Are you sure you want to give these precious elixirs to us for auction? Mu Qian nodded. Are there instructions which I still didn't know of? Master Bai asked again. He knew that these elixirs will make a great change in refining medicines. And this son of N, ability absolutely won't like to be the center of attention with the way he hide his features. I will have to trouble you to auction these elixirs for tomorrow, and then if you can find an alchemist that has this elixir and herbs, inform me. Just sell it to me at a market price. Mu Qian took out a list. Master Bai looked at the list of medicines. Some of the elixir is extremely valuable, while others are names he had not even heard of. Also, the state of medicine in the Purple Moon isn't advanced yet. I believe someone will doubt the elixirs, so you have to prepare a person to test it out. The Master Bai nodded. I know. Master Bai took out a purple jade tablet. Son, this is our tablet for honored guest. You will need this in order to attend to the auction tomorrow. With this, you can also enjoy having our best auction box. Mu Qian replied. In that case, I'll take it. Mu Qian took the jade tablet and left the auction house, leaving 2 old guys who were still in a daze. Upon going out, Mu Qian suddenly felt a dangerous air. An ink-colored figure appeared in her sight, a cold Ashura man. Even in broad daylight, his dark breath can cover up all the light. Mu Qian wanted to speak, but decided to keep it herself instead. This person, did he really thought that with a mask during the day, no one will recognize him? At this time, a cold gaze came as if to see her through. Housekeeper Bai asked, Master, what's the matter? Housekeeper Bai looked at where Jiu Yi is looking, then froze. With his strength, he could still see Mu Qian's face under her cloak. He already thought that his master was beautiful, but didn't think there was a boy in this world that wasn't much worse than his master. And the boy's eyes turned out to be light green, a colored iris like his master. Mu Qian acted like a stranger that didn't saw them. She directly walked past them. But she always felt a glance fell on her back. For a long time it hasn't disappeared. She won't be recognized as what she believed. She looks like this now. Even her little uncle won't recognize who she was either, right? Housekeeper Bai can feel the breath of the master is a little dangerous. He dare not make a sound. He can tell the master seems to look at the boy furiously. The boy is enchanting and very strange, but seeing a person isn't enough to cause the master this angry. Go. Xinyuan Jiuyi, like a ghost, moved upstairs. At the treasure room, Master Yun couldn't react. He looked at the elixirs in the table and pinches himself over and over to see if he's not dreaming. Master Bai, didn't you say that the next auction will be in 7 days later? Is it really possible to start tomorrow? Master Yun asked. Who says we can't? But there are treasures that are still on the road. There are things that aren't prepared yet, so how can we start the auction? Master Bai glanced at the elixirs and proudly said, These elixirs are already enough. Even without those treasures, this auction can afford to start. Don't worry, I'll talk to the Lord. But he learned that the young master is meeting some important guests. Master Bai can only wait. After the guests leave, the Lord of the Snow's Chamber of Commerce summoned Master Bai. His opening was, The auction will be held early this evening. Master, what's going on? Master Bai was confused. Someone came to me for an auction with something incredible and asked me to hold the auction ahead of time. Master Bai said, Lord, what a coincidence. Actually, I also have. He told the master about the elixirs. There's no such thing as coincidence. I think that they are somehow connected to each other. The number 1 auction house suddenly opened ahead of time. On that evening, the capital's major clans and royal family was totally unprepared. And from the news, they will also auction some things that are unacceptable. The Mu Jia's elders also prepared themselves to go to the auction. With fear that Mu Qian will join them and spend lavishly there, they did not tell her the news. After all, there are many times that their lord partook. IP aided in the auction before. No matter what they come up with, there is no use. She always call the price. Coupled with the two daughters of the Ouyang Jia deliberately acting up against their lord, the price ends up with a huge amount, and the Mu Jia will be the only one who will suffer such heavy losses. Mu Qian, who got the message from the auction house, was surprised. Tonight? It's too early, ah. She remembered the important part and said, Hee hee, I can't wait to collect my money. The sooner you get the money, the better. When the auction is about to begin, Mu Qian once again became Ah Ting. She quietly left home. Mu Qian just entered the auction. She heard someone talking. Miss, that woman. Mu Qian, she did not come to the auction this time. What kind of lord is she? She doesn't even have the qualifications to partake. IP8 in this auction, ha ha ha. Good luck to that fool. If she dared to come this time, I'll make sure she bleeds. A savage voice came. In a moment, the doorman found Mu Qian she and politely said, Guest, you have come. Please come inside. Mu Qian glanced at Ouyang Wei and smirked. Bleed? Let's see who will bleed this time. Hey guys, I'm back. Remembered Ouyang Wei in the first chapter? She's the one who killed the previous Mu Qian. I will enjoy every revenge that the current Mu Qian will give to her. She deserves all of it. Hot medicine auction, miss. It's my first time to see the Snows auction people be so polite to others. Even if the prince came, they would not act like that. Who the hell is that? Ouyang Wei frowned. He should be one of the auction's honored guests. It was just a casual glance that gave her a very bad feeling. The Snows auction house in the Purple Moon Kingdom is divided into 6 floors. The 6th floor is the office area while the remaining 5 floors are the guests area. At this time, the servant with Mu Qian had lead her on one of the special box in the 5th floor. In the 5th floor of another box, another servant ushered in a guest. 2 special box lights lit up at the same time. It caused uproar for the people below. What's going on? Aren't these 2 boxes always deserted? Yes, that's why it's so strange. In the Purple Moon Kingdom, I am afraid that only 3 people are eligible for this level of box that had been lighted up. The first is the Purple Emperor, the second is the 3rd Master Mu Wushuang, and the last one is Unfathomable Night Prince. The Emperor did not come. Mu Jia's 3rd Master has limited mobility and has never partook. IP aided in these auctions. For a moment they felt their backs were cold, but even if the Night Prince came, who was the other one in there? Just when people are trying to crack their heads and could not think of another guest. The auction has already started. A woman dressed in a fiery red dress appeared on the auction floor, and EXY figure was distracting most people. With just the woman's look, a bunch of souls was captivated. She is the chief alchemist of the Snows auction house in the Purple Moon, Kai Xian. In Ouyang Wei's side, a servant girl shouted, The disgraced vixen. Kai Xian just laughed and said in a clear voice, Surely everyone is wondering why our auction was held in advance? That's because we got a lot of wonderful things to auction, and we can't wait to share all of it with you. Pa pa pa. The woman clapped with the palms of her hand in rhythm. Then another woman in white holding a bottle was sent in the stage. Medicine bottle. Someone exclaimed, Are you going to auction off a 2nd grade medicine pellet today? Must be 2nd grade, otherwise, how can the Snows auction house change the auction time? Great. A 2nd grade medicine pellet has not appeared in half a year already. Did not expect to see it today. Everyone was excited. Every time 2nd grade medicine pellets appear in the Purple Moon Kingdom, it always causes the parties to compete for power. Who made the alchemists scarce in this world? And even 2nd grade medicine pellets rarer. Kai Xian laughed at their remarks and corrected them. I think the guests are mistaken. The inside of this medicine bottle isn't 2nd grade medicine pellets, but elixir. What? Elixir? What the hell? How could it be an elixir? Yes. That cannot be true. Even 1st grade medicine pellets aren't accepted here, so how come? An elixir has the qualifications to be auctioned here? Miss Kai Xian, are you sure this hell place isn't messing with us? All the people are staring at her. An absolute confidence was found at Kai Xian's face. Kai Xian's red lips moved seductively and said, With the reputation of being the #1 auction house, we don't have the time to mess with everybody here. The reason why this elixir is auctioned off is because this elixir is equivalent to a second-grade medicine pellet, and the effect is much better than a second-grade. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. How can elixirs beat a medicine pellet? That's right. The emergence of this elixir, the impact of their cognition, the way they react, the look in their eyes. Mu Qian shook her head. It was too cold. It's not that she can't make pills, but because she can only refine a first-grade medicine pellets for now. Refining a first-grade can't sell for much. Obviously, it will be impossible for her to reach 3 million gold taels with only that. So she can only use her modern way of making medicine to make elixirs, because there are some effects of modern medicine that are equivalent to this world's second grade. If she put together enough, she can earn the 3 million gold taels easily. Elixirs and pellets have their own strength. She is a genius regarding the uses of medicines and herbs, but she also intends to learn some more through alchemy. Caixin heard them, but still introduced the elixir to everyone. I know it's hard to believe, but inside this vial is called a spirit blood elixir. As long as it is not a fatal injury, when taken immediately the bleeding will stop. For about half an hour the wound will also recover. This will surely save your life. This time someone said, "This is not possible. How could it have such an effect? Even a third-grade medicine pellet needs an hour to restore. Stop the bleeding immediately. This is too mysterious." Caixin smirked. "I know you don't believe it. So we're going to do an experiment in public, here in the auction house. What do you say?" She then said, "Please come over." A big man was invited to come up. His body has been torn by some kind of beast, and a Ma's sieve scar was seen. Even the blood is still flowing. This is what Mu Qian commanded. In order to make these people believe the efficacy of the drug, you must find a wounded person to try. Caixin explained. This is our auction's field expatriation personnel. He just entered the heavenly forest and had encountered a high-ranked beast. He came back seriously injured. Now we'll let him take this elixir, and you will all see the effect. The man took the medicine. Immediately after the blood really stopped flowing. Everything that happened was so strange. Too powerful, although half an hour has not yet arrived. But everyone completely believed the efficacy of the elixir. As the first auction house in the Purple Moon and Snow's continent first chamber of commerce that belongs to a large force, they will not risk their own reputation just to play with them. This magic elixir had piqued everyone's interest. A pract. Itionir, who is inevitably injured, with just this rapid spirit blood elixir will undoubtedly be a life-saving medicine for him. Someone who can't wait already shouted. Miss Caixin, hurry up and start the auction. OD. He just used a bottle. It's not over. There was trepidation. After all, they only auctioned 2 second-grade medicine pellets every time. The auctioneer laughed. You do not have to worry about that, although we have spent a bottle, but with the remaining 9 bottles you still have the opportunity. The spirit blood elixir's starting price is 100,000 gold taels. You can increase the price. The auctioneer's words just came down. Someone had already added. 200,000. 201,000. 202. 300. This medicine, no matter if it is expensive or not, they must have it. These people will not be stingy at all. The price is constantly rising, but the people on the 4th floor have not yet called the price. And finally there was a clear voice that landed. 500,000. Hiss. The crowd took a breath of cold air. It was the voice of His Highness, the Crown Prince. I didn't think that the Crown Prince is interested in this medicine. The Purple Moon's Crown Prince, Xianyuan Li Shang, is Xianyuan Li Tian's eldest brother from the side of the Emperor. He is the #1 genius of the Purple Moon. In a young age, not only he is at the 9-stage spirit warrior, but also has the wind element spirit. When the prince shouted the price, no one took the risk of offending the prince. This time the Crown Prince's eyes fell on the 5th floor of the first box. His eyes looked dark and gloomy. Master, this elixir that is the equivalent to a second-grade medicine pellet is very strange. I have not heard of it before. Housekeeper Bai stood behind Ju Yi and whispered. Another prince appeared. Is he a friend or a foe? Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z. How can I bully you? Housekeeper Bai's words just fell. He heard his master said, increase? This medicine is too strange. The master was interested, and housekeeper Bai was excited. The results, Xinyuan Juyi added. Buy it. Let the price increase. He won't let him get what he want anyway. This is obviously a hole in the pit for the crown prince. The role of the crown prince, although he often provokes his master, but his master did not put the crown prince in his eyes at all. How come now? The crown prince caught master's interest? But no matter what, he must carry out the order, housekeeper Bai said. 700,000 gold taels. There was a chill in the air. Xinyuan Lishang thought, right, it is him. Although he's positive that he can't afford to confront him, but seeing that he don't give any damn about him being the crown prince, he can feel his hatred towards him getting piled up. So Xinyuan Lishang increased the price. 800,000. Mu Qian was slightly distracted. It was the royal family who swallowed a lot of her money. Knowing it was Xinyuan Lishang the crown prince, she was ready to increase the price to dig a pit for him, but did not think that someone will start instead. And that voice isn't that housekeeper Bai? Juyi is just at the next door. 900,000. Housekeeper Bai continued. 1,000,000. The crown prince shouted. He then looked to the top, slowly said, "This is my highest price. If ninth brother really wants it, you can continue to increase its price." Hiss. It is really the night prince. Oh my god. The night prince came. They murmured. Almost everyone was pale and silent. Housekeeper Bai laughed. The crown prince is worried too much. It's just this old man was bored, so I decided to play. Our master isn't interested in this elixir. Your highness is such a tall man, so we'll leave it to you then. The crown prince's face was clouded. His fists clenched and his joints creaked. Xinyuan Juyi. Too hateful. Even his servant was so arrogant. Mu Qian finally understood why Xinyuan Litian was so afraid of housekeeper Bai. Even with the crown prince, housekeeper Bai does not put him in his eyes, and he even dared to play. Next is the start of the auction for the second bottle. After all aspects of the compet, Itian, final price was 600,000. No more than the price of the crown prince. Third bottle, fourth bottle, fifth bottle. The compet. Itian continued. It was a hot sale. The first batch of elixirs was half sold, but Mu Qian already earned the 3,000,000 gold taels. The red-faced elders that also bids on the elixirs had no idea that the bet that they've made with Mu Qian was already lost at this moment. The last bottle of elixir. Bidding starts. Kaixin said. 600,000 gold taels. A crisp voice came. The voice from the fourth floor, the Ouyang family box. Mu Qian brought an evil smile that betrays all innocence. Ouyang Wei, you've finally taken your shot. The Ouyang family is the emperor's parents-in-law, a Virginia's Sal state in Zhang residence. One of the most prominent clan in the Purple Moon Kingdom. 3 generations had pious, said, but they're still the most known clan that one cannot mess with aside from the royal family. The Ouyang's eldest daughter set her price. Naturally, no one dares to compete with her, but Mu Qian was amused and thought, so what? At this time, a low, elegant voice came on the 5th floor. 601,000. Everyone was in an uproar. The other one on the 5th floor had finally shot. Sounds like a very young man. He dared to go against the Ouyang family's diabolical miss. He is really bold. Ouyang Wei bit her teeth. 700,000. 701,000. 800,000. 801,000. Ouyang Wei is going to explode each time the other just add 1,000. As if he really was just against her. Ouyang Wei's eyes are red and angrily said, "You're ident. Itai is good, but don't bully a little girl like me." Bully? Who? Mu Qian replied, "Miss Ouyang, if you don't have money, then don't increase the price." Damn, who said this miss has no money? All this time, Ouyang Wei remembered that she already had killed an idiot named Mu Qian, she who always flaunt her wealth but was a fool for spending too much of her money with her obvious taunts. Now some people from who knows where dare to say that she has no money. Ouyang Wei isn't satisfied, and she wanted to slap him until his face gets swollen as a pig. $1,000,000. Her bottom line is the same as the crown prince. Someone said, "Did not think that Miss Ouyang has a lot of money too?" 1,001,000 gold taels. 1,100,000 taels. 1,101,000 taels. 2,000,000. Ouyang Wei was red all over from shouting too much. When she recovered, she felt a shiver in her spine. FUCK. 2 million gold taels. Even a third-grade medicine pellet is not worth that price. Mu Qian calmly said. Since Miss Ouyang is so persistent in this elixir, then this humble one will let you have it. The last spirit blood elixir was sold for 2 million gold taels. Miss Ouyang is also a fierce woman. Her bid is twice higher than the crown prince was. The next batch is spirit speed elixir. One can have the practice speed for 3 times to 4 times. Absolutely crazy. If this was given to any one of their family, there will be a genius. Ouyang Wei's fists were tightly held. Her fingers are buckled into her flesh. It's more useful for her, but the one she bought cost 2 million. She has no money left. She can only watch the elixir fall into the hands of others. The crown prince is also depressed. As long as he bids, Night Palace's housekeeper will raise the price. Even if he were the last to buy the medicine, the price will be 2 times more than others. Xinyuan Juyi did not bother to hide his motives at all. The crown prince even thought that Juyi couldn't fight him fair and square. The crown prince's throne is only for him. It will never be his. He cannot be beaten by Xinyuan Juyi. Xinyuan Lishang said in his heart as he grips his fists tightly. The exciting elixir auction was over, and half an hour had passed, said. The man before was invited out again, now full of energy like an ordinary person. It's hard to imagine that half an hour before, he was fatally injured. Kai-Xian smiled brightly and said, following this auction, the next items are Heaven Peace Stem GRA. SS, Tianyuan Sky GRA. SS, Highest Grade Phoenix Blossom, Bodhi Lotus. Kai-Xian has reported a large list. All the people that listened are stunned. Second-grade immortality elixirs, third-grade immortality elixirs, fourth-grade immortality elixirs. There are also some unheard-of elixirs. Is the Snow's auction crazy? So many precious elixirs are put up for auction. This separate auction or? The people are somewhat inarticulate. Kai-Xian said. No, sir. I reported all these elixirs because this is a combination of auctions. The starting price is 1 million. Mu Qian also felt that the pattern this woman has was crazy. She took out so many precious elixir to auction, but the result is like buying cabbage-like batches of auction. It's too weird, but she feels so good. There are a lot of elixirs that she wants. It's all in one piece. As for the money, this time the auctioned elixirs earned her enough money. Even if she didn't have the money from the elixirs, she is still the Mu Jia's lord. Whether if it is the crown prince or Miss Ouyang, her family's wealth can completely crush any of them. Mu Qian, she said. 10 million. This is my limit. The crowd took a breath of cold air. He added tenfold right at the start. 10 million. No one in the room could afford the price. Since no one can afford to shout, of course the deal is done. Then this batch of herbs and elixirs will go the gentleman in the 5th floor. Mu Qian is very happy. Her eyes shine at those elixir. She was once a ghost doctor. She loved mixing excellent medicinal products the most. In the next box, Xinyuan Jiu Ye's perfect mouth brought a touch of subtle curvature. Kai-Xian continued. Next, we're auctioning. I know you guys already guessed who's the other person who auctioned things aside from MQX. So sweet but kinda weird if you think about it, ha ha ha. This is the wholesale market, the 9-tripod cauldron made from thunder ore, celestial star ore, dragon king crystal. The auctioneer Kai-Xian has finished her speech with great speed. Let all the people unable to blink with their eyes. Mu Qian's mouth couldn't help but twitch. Why is there a feeling of entering the wholesale market rather than at an auction? So many precious ores. If she can buy it all, it can be turned into refining tools that will help her greatly in alchemy. The auction house has sold the first dozen in one go. But what's the catch? Everyone who came to the auction today was intimidated. The emergence of an elixir that is beyond second-grade medicine pellets was enough to cause them to feel down due to lack of money. But now they'd also saw these treasures being sold in batches. Kai-Xian loudly said, starting price is 2 million. You can call the price. Her words have just fallen, but a pleasing voice immediately resurfaced. 10 million. This batch of goods, this gentleman wants all of it. All the people looked at each other. The young man in the 5th floor is truly extravagant. He just spent 10 million before, but now he was even the first to bid. Xinyuan Lishang clenched his fist. He had no money. With the silence, Mu Qian's mouth evoked a smile. If she wants something, no one can take it away. In the Purple Moon Kingdom, Xinyuan Lishang thought that unless his father emperor agreed to take out all the treasures in the imperial treasury, he could compete for the items being auctioned, but without it, even if he used all the money and treasures in his palace, he is doomed to lose. Kaixin lightly laughed and announced, "Since no one is calling other price anymore, these batches of ore are sold to the gentleman in the 5th floor. 10 million is the last price. But this batch of things is not what 10 million could buy. Even with 100 million, one can't buy so much treasures at once." Mu Qian felt that the sponsor for these items are lacking. The next auction is... Kaixin took out another long list. Mu Qian muttered to herself, "The elixirs, ores, it couldn't be secret methods for alchemy, right?" Mu Qian can't believe she was right when Kaixin started reading the list. Precious Magic Flash Book, Secrets of Shanggong embroidered in gold, record for refining Luan Yen medicine pellet. All of these will be a great practice for Mu Qian. Kaixin, who hasn't finished reading yet, was interrupted by the Mu Qian. Mu Qian slowly said, "Miss Kaixin, the list is too long for you to read, and I can feel that everyone is distressed to see you get tired, so I'll just take it. I'll bid 10 million. Kaixin froze. The rest of the people are angry. This person couldn't even let her finish reading. At least give them a chance. They all suspected that the treasures came from this kid, and his true purpose out here is to deliberately distract them. Otherwise, who would be stupid to do such a loss of business like this?" Kaixin still asked, "Are there any increase in price?" "What price increase? It's already at 10 million. Even if they wanted to increase its price, they don't have the money to pay for it. Then these works will all belong to the gentleman in the 5th floor." Kaixin closed the deal. She added, "The last auctions for today are the 2 third-grade medicine pellets. Starting price is 1 million. 2 pills, third-grade medicine pellet. No one in the Purple Moon Kingdom even owned one, but someone had decided to auction it both. That's crazy." Even Mu Qian froze. This is simply all that she wanted, and someone has sent it all. She decided to increase her vigilance. This kind of luck is unbelievable. She wanted to learn more about alchemy at the same time. She doesn't want to worry about strong parties to know any of it. Her family does not lack money, but because they're not a local in this country, there's not enough power that money can provide alone. So she tried to find things that can help her achieve her goals slowly, but did not expect that in this auction, all of her planned necessities were dropped like a gift from God. 10 million. This gentleman will take it all. Mu Qian's arrogance remains. A sound of drum was heard. In the eyes of everyone at the auction house, Kaixin announced the ownership of the 2 third-grade medicine pellets. Finally, this thrilling auction finally ended. When they heard the sound that indicates that the auction has ended, the people who joined felt like all that have happened inside was just a dream. They're all the members of the major families in the capital of Purple Moon Kingdom, but this is the first time they've seen an auction like this. Unfortunately, they also did not get much benefit. And this auction's biggest harvest goes to Mu Qian Shi. Knock, knock, knock. Come in. Kaixin was ready to receive the person who would claim his winnings, and said with a smile, "Gentlemen, this is the storage ring that has all of your items. The rest of the money is in this family gold card." Mu Qian was surprised. "Huh, there is still money left?" Kaixin said, "Our auction house wants to continue working with you, so this time, we didn't charge any fees on your items. There are over 30 million gold taels left in your gold card." Mu Qian was shocked and immediately said, "Aren't you mistaken? I remember that all of my elixirs were only sold for a total of 30 million gold taels. I just spent over 40 million gold in the auction, so how can it still be so much?" Kaixin laughed and said, "Gentlemen, we are not asking for gold, but silver, so it isn't that much." "What? How is that possible?" "I only said that it is 1 million. I did not say that all of them were in gold, so I think all the guests are mistaken." Kaixin looked innocent as she said this. If the guests at today's auction heard this, they will die of blood loss for sure. Also, if they had known it was just 1 million silver taels, they would have competed no matter what. They don't have 10 million gold, but silver does. Mu Qian thought that she had just won a lottery. All the people that bid for the elixirs are in gold. So for these treasures they some that it is also in gold. Even she was misled, but so many precious things were sold at 10 million silver taels each. There is no mistake, ah. She asked just to be sure. Miss Kaixin, are you really sure? This is definitely a total loss for your business, isn't it? Kaixin smiled and said, this is the order of the master who sent the auctioned items. Our job is to auction only. Since the gentleman paid all of it with money, these things are yours. Just think of it as simple as buying something. You don't need to worry so much. Mu Qian was satisfied and said, Miss Kaixin is right. Since I have paid it with my money, these things are mine. She nodded and said, I also want you to do something for me. I don't know what else the gentleman wants to request. Kaixin asked, the auction house will convert the 3 million gold taels on my card into gold. Kaixin looked surprised at Mu Qian's request. Gold isn't easy to carry. The general gold card is more convenient. Mu Qian saw the confusion in her eyes and said, because I'm going to hit people with gold, I'll have to trouble Miss Kaixin. Take 3 million gold to hit people. Even a high priest may be buried alive. For a person to use gold to smash people, I'm afraid this gentleman is the only one who can do it. Kaixin laughed. You are really an interesting person. I'll immediately inform a person to exchange it. Kaixin left in a hurry. In a while, Master Bai went down to see Mu Qian and said, Son, our young lord invited you over. Would you please come with me? Young lord? Wouldn't it be Snow's Chamber of Commerce's lord then? Mu Qian nodded. Good. In the 6th floor of the first auction house, the layout is very stylish, low-key luxury to the extreme. Master Bai opened the door and Mu Qian saw a man sitting inside. Wearing a white mandarin collar-long robe, a jade headwear binding his hair with his posture that are both graceful and noble. He has a pair of foxy eyes. His shallow smile doesn't look like a smile at all. Nailin Yu did not make a sound, so Mu Qian decided to speak first. I wanted to thank the auction's lord for granting my requests in the auction today. The little fox is here. You're gonna love him for sure? To take liberties with the young Lord Nailin Yu smiled and replied, Gentleman was able to have a huge harvest not because of us, but because of your powerful financial resources. Nailin Yu is an impeccable businessman. The smile on the face seems to be a fixed pattern in general. Mu Qian doesn't beat around the bush. Lord Nailin, is there something you want me to do? Can it be that I just want to make friends with you? Make friends with a fox like you? Are you sure you won't sell me? Mu Qian looked at his eyes with an eyebrow raised up. In Nailin Yu's smiling face a slight stiff was seen. He coughed and said, You're joking, right? He smiled and said, I'm always good to my friends. That may be true, but what do you most value in your friends? She crossed her arms and said sincerely, One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. I'm not interested in becoming friends with someone who only knows how to give a fake smile. I know I couldn't bear the sight of that horrible person every day. The beautiful ice block's face instantly flashed through her mind. Master Bai who stood by is terrified. The sun is too direct. Nailin Yu's face can't continue to keep his smiling face any longer. His body exudes a dangerous air. Is he trying to scare her? No way. Mu Qian's ready at any moment. She's just waiting for Nailin Yu to start. Boom. The two of them have already crossed swords, Nailin Yu said. Only in the 4th stage spirit order, but dares to be arrogant. Clash. Mu Qian took a few steps back and rubbed her numb arms. What if I'm only in the 4th stage spirit order? Nailin Yu, you still lost. Suddenly Master Bai's face changed radically. Little lord. Nailin Yu felt a cramp in his abdomen. A large drop of sweat fell on his forehead. Mu Qian walked slowly in front of him and said, Don't you know that I'm here to sell potions? You even let yourself be close to me. Isn't that only asking for abuse? You. The smile in Nailin Yu's eyes disappeared, and at this time he only wanted to tear this man up. Mu Qian held out her hands and rubbed his face. You're so handsome, but your smile is so ugly. What a waste of a good-looking face. She shakes her head, smiled and said, SK, why don't I poison you and turn you into a doll instead? Don't you even try. Nailin Yu suddenly waved his hand. The terrifying air flew out Mu Qian's cloak, and she hastily retreated. In that moment, Nailan Yu clearly saw Mu Qian's appearance. The youth looks very young. He looks about 16 or 17 years old at most. Eyebrows like ink painting, skin as white as snow, enchanting facial features, like a god's creation born from thousands of years. The long gray-green hair slides down from his shoulders, like the finest silk, and under the lashes of the but-turfly wings there is a pair of pale green clear eyes, which can captivate any soul. He looks pure and innocent like an elf, but the corner of his mouth evokes an evil smile. Two very different temperaments, but it does not give a sense of incongruity. Nailan Yu is totally stunned. He has seen a variety of beauties before in the snow continent. Those people don't know how much worse they are compared to this juvenile. Mu Qian looked at Nailan Yu's pale face and said, "It hurts, doesn't it? Smile for me, and I'll give you the antidote." She did not want to be the enemy of the snow's first chamber of commerce. She just wanted to play with him. This lord is not in the mood for your jokes. It's not a joke. You shouldn't be jumping to conclusions like that. Nailan Yu is furious with this youth that it almost made him to spew out blood. There is a little devil for sure that hides beneath his enchanting face. Hehehe, Mu Qian chuckled. All right. I'm not playing with you anymore. The smile on Mu Qian's face let Nailan Yu look in amazement. A casual smile, like a light breeze, coupled with that flawless face, simply let all the colors between heaven and earth dim. Master Bai also froze. If this little patriarch laughed like this in the future, there will surely be accidents. Nailan Yu felt the colic on his abdomen is gone, Mu Qian said. Want revenge? Anytime. To an alchemist and a poison expert, there is no need. This lord will not do irrational things like that. Say, can we start again? Mu Qian retorted. Why do I get this feeling that you only wanted me to continue making those elixirs, because you think I'm profitable? Smart. Nailan Yu stretches his arms and said in an aloof manner, always disguising myself really makes me tired. This is also good once in a while. His attitude before is really different now, as if there are two different Nailan Yu that exist. Mu Qian smiled and said, Don't worry. Just work with me, and you'll learn a lot. The things that were auctioned today are very useful to me. I will look forward to your cooperation in the future. Sure. I also look forward to working with you again. Nailan Yu nodded. All right. Suddenly a question rings in her mind. She asked, Who's the brain-dead person behind that wholesale auction? PFT. Nailan Yu laughed. You say he's brain-dead? How could you say that? When the man came to him for such an auction, he also thought that he had no brain, but did not dare to say it. That person requested many unusual things. He came up with so many expensive things to auction. What is his purpose in the end? Nailan Yu heard that he was never seen near a woman. The thought of this arrogant teenager having a special relationship with that man, Nailan Yu felt a little uncomfortable. Say it. Tell me, who is it? I'm interested. It is definitely a rich man who has more money than her. That man ordered not to tell anybody of who he is. If I've done that, I would die. You don't want your partner to be killed tomorrow in the street, right? Mu Qian pondered. That man said cruel things to the Snow's Chamber of Commerce's lord. Who can it be? Is it possible? She remembered this afternoon she saw Xianyuan Juyi near here. It's not that haunting guy, is it? Okay, I won't push you any more on this matter. Mu Qian waved her hand. Nailan Yu, since we decided to cooperate, do you want to show a little sincerity? What do you want? Nailan Yu asked. The elixirs on this list, can you help me find it? Mu Qian took out a list. The mentioned elixirs are all for the treatment of her little uncle's eyes. The poison is too vicious. She had used a lot of precious elixirs from the Mujia's properties, but it didn't even help her uncle a bit. Fine, once there is news, I will help you get it. Nailan Yu promised. Also, do you know where I can find a powerful blacksmith? I know already that the standards here in the Purple Moon are all useless. I'm afraid they can't build what I want. I know one, just outside the city. If you want, I can take you there. Great, then after 3 days, I will come find you here. Good. Master Bai is completely numb. His lord is possessed by the devil. His lord, who only seeks nothing but profit, is voluntarily helping someone. He also wanted to guide this gentleman to one of the greatest blacksmith alive. Is this a dream? Since you already know my name, it's fine if you call me Nailan Yu. Me, Juyi, say, can it be considered as date between them? Juye's face became dark and the air around us is frightening. Me, sweating profusely, no, no. Juyi, calm down. It's a joke. You know Muqian is dense, she probably don't know what is a date, right? Right? Juyi. It's really a Pa-S sing game. I am Mushi, from a branch of the royal family, although she borrowed Ating's face, but the name she used is her own simplified name. She yawned and lazily said, it's getting late. I have to get some rest. See you in the next 3 days. She left like the wind. Naylan, you wanted to keep him, but there was no excuse. Lord Naylan, are you all right? He now doubts that the beautiful, imprecise youth did not just poison his lord, but also let his lord become less and less of himself. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. But Lord, should we send someone to inquire about the ident? Itai of the prince? Master Bai asked. He had never heard of a strange boy from the Purple Moon Emperor himself, and not only is he a young alchemist, but also has vast knowledge in poisons. No, people like Mushi won't like if someone asked about him. Young lord, didn't you think that you've gone too far on your promise today? You obviously can't handle the great Master Hor, right? Is it not worth it for this lord to win over an alchemist who is under 20 years old? He added. After 3 days, if Mushi came, no matter what I'm doing, inform me first. Master Bai's mouth is twitching. Being an alchemist and less than 20 years old in the Purple Moon Kingdom is considered as a genius, but in the Snow Continent it was actually common. He'd never seen his lord so attentive before. He suddenly had a very bad feeling. Gather round, boys. The youth finally came out. He really let us wait for long. When Mu Qian left the auction house and put on her cloak again, a few people were whispering carefully. They followed her since then. Mu Qian's eyes flashed a trace of cold light. She hurriedly turned away. She did not go straight to Mu Jia's residence. She went around a deep alley instead. Mu Qian turned around. Since we're all not out in the open anymore, why don't you robbers start first? She gained too many good things today, and certainly a few of the guests intended to rob her upon coming out of the auction house. But alas, smart people like the Crown Prince and Ouyang Wei did not partake. IP aided on making a move on the people from the 5th floor. She definitely felt a little disappointed. A group of martial masters jumped out and yelled, "This youth doesn't have the strength of a master yet so arrogant. Kid, you don't have anywhere to go. Leave your things behind." Blah blah blah. Mu Qian felt bored listening to his words that she could help but yawn. I thought that this boy is great, but ha ha ha. I'll count to 3. We'll catch him all together. Let him hand over all the treasures, but they haven't moved yet. Suddenly there's a skull's reflection on the floor. In an instant the whole alley was surrounded by BLOO red skeletons. Clap. It was at this moment that they knew they get up. These BLOO red skeletons approached them. The leader shouted, "This is bad. Really bad." He made a signal to the rest. "Let's get out of here. Quick." Ghost. Someone screamed and tried to escape. But the skeletons are fast. They didn't let them escape. All of the robbers died quickly. The skeletons look familiar. Not far from here, in one of the roofs, a slender man in black robes stood there lightly. His black figure seems to blend in with the night. The night wind blows gently, his black hair is swaying, and a pair of icy blue eyes fell on Mu Qian. After a minute, the skeletons disappeared in front of her. The dead bodies and even the Ashura is gone. Mu Qian's lips couldn't help but twitch. She can recognize him at first sight, but that's not the case with him, especially if she looked like Ating. That man is as mysterious as the abyss. Mu Qian thought about her own strength first. She's too weak, so she decided not to bother with this matter for now. Mu Qian returned to her courtyard to take a good night's sleep. The next day, she still did not step out. Mu Qian, that little girl will lose for sure. That's true. She hasn't done anything in the past 3 days. And I don't believe that the 3 million gold taels will just fall from the sky either. It's the 3rd day. The elders have come in the meeting hall early in the morning. They couldn't wait to see her face as she accepts that she lost the bet she started. Then they could take care of her finally. But the elders that waited most of the day did not see Mu Qian come. That damn brat is late again. She really is a pain in the neck. If she still won't come before noon, then we will go to her instead. She can't back out now. These old guys are losing their patience every minute. If they could, they would directly go to Mu Qian's courtyard and drag her here if possible. After a few more minutes, Mu Qian walked languidly from the doorway and said in a mocking way, "The elders are so diligent this time, so early that it almost made this lord to not cut your allowances." Great elders said, "Lord, the 3-day period is up. We are here to discuss about our bet." Mu Qian let out a sinister smile. "Sure, this lord already prepared the 3 million gold taels outside. I'll let you all take a good look at it. Throw them all in." Mu Qian moved to the side and watched the shadows carrying the pile of gold throw all of it to the faces of the elders. "Arg, Mu Qian, you're crazy." "Aya." The shadows only obey the orders of their lord. If Mu Qian wanted them to throw these golds to people, they would really throw it no matter what. The meeting hall's space is limited. These old guys have nowhere to hide. Bang, bang, bang. 3 million gold taels is not a small amount. These batch of gold were thrown at them without mercy. There were screams everywhere. Only the 9th elder have nothing to do. He just saw the heap of gold being piled up in the room, making him unable to move, and just stood there watching the others make a fool of themselves. He don't want to get hit, and since they're not aiming for him, he just stood there like a statue. The great elder couldn't take it anymore, so he shouted, "Lord, if you want us dead, just say the word. Why torment us like this?" Mu Qian looked at him innocently and asked, "Great elder, what are you saying? How can I kill you if you work hard? I just earned so much gold, that's why I'm very happy. So I decided to send these over for the elders to count. Look, those are exactly 3 million gold taels in total. They are buried in this gold with only half life left. Where can they gather the strength to count?" The great elder glanced at the pile of gold. There are at least 3 million, all right. But what exactly did Mu Qian done in the past 3 days? He called for someone to come and hastily ordered, "Tell the Lord, this elder is already done in counting. It is exactly 3 million gold taels. Elders, you have lost." They were all stunned. Mu Qian really did it. In just 3 days, she earned 3 million gold taels. They can be sure that Mu Qian, she did not use any property of the Mu Jia, and she has never been out of the door. The great elder composed himself and said, "Lord, if you do not explain where the 3 million come from, we won't accept defeat." "Me, Mu Qian, why do I get this feeling that Jiu Yi is especially kind only towards you?" "Mu Qian, what the hell are you talking about? Are you blind or just plain stupid? Can't you see he's trying to kill me with those scary things?" "Me? But the skeletons saved you." "Mu Qian, huh? He don't know it's me. Are you sure you're not the one who's sick in the head?" "Me? Are you frickin' kidding me?" "It was a blast, wasn't it?" Mu Qian answered casually. "Of course, my friend gave it to me." "Friend? Lord, you have no rich friend here in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Don't lie to me." Almost all of the elder are in doubt. But Mu Qian said, Didn't you all know my friend already? Although he does not visit me in the Mu Jia's residence, when he heard that I need 3 million gold taels, he went to the Snow's auction house to sell his elixirs. He said that the things he sold were plenty and 3 millions isn't that much. Hiss. The elders took a breath of cold air. The man who made the incredible elixirs was a friend of their lord. Could it be that Mu Fengyan left behind this person to assist Mu Qianxi? They didn't think that such a great alchemist is willing to support to Mu Qian. If they'd known there was such a man behind her, they would not have agreed to such a bet. Now the elders have lost then. Please keep your promise. Don't speak in black and white. Every month, they can only have 10 silver taels. One by one, the elders handed their rights to Mu Qianxi. What's wrong with giving it all to this little girl? Even though she had a mysterious alchemist behind her, they were still better at doing business compared to her. They all thought it would just take a short time for this little girl to beg them to take their rights back. When all of the old men left, Mu Qian turned to look at the doorway and asked the shadows that were standing proudly, Did throwing all of that gold at them felt great? The shadows looked at each other in shock. Their little master is too cool, ah. They are all disgusted on how that bunch of old men acts towards their little master even before. But they could not help the little master from those devils, due to their position in the Mujia. You can speak to this, Lord. It's great. All of the shadows said in unison. Mu Qian reminded them. Today, we hit them by surprise. But if you do not have enough strength even with a lot of money, I'm afraid you cannot hit them. Your strength is too weak. If you wanted to be cool a second time, you can only dream. They clenched their fists, clearly unconvinced. These people are all the former Mujia's lord. Mu Fengyun carefully selected. All are excellent warriors. Although they have an absolute loyalty to their lord, they don't want someone to look down on their abilities, especially if it is their lord's daughter. Mu Qian coldly said. Do you guys think that because all of you have reached the strength of Spirit Master below the age of 30, you're all great? This talent, if placed with other powerful clans in the Purple Moon Kingdom, will surely be a subject for abuse. Ha ha ha. Truly amazing. Tell me exactly, what did you do when some witch decided to make my little uncle blind? What can you all do if some parties with the same strength of the Cloud Sect appeared again? It's the case with her uncle's legs since childhood, but his eyes. Mu Qian clenched her fist. These days she has been able to investigate the things that have happened to her little uncle before and was furious at the things she have learned. Cloud Sect is the largest sect in the Snow Continent, and no other family can outrank them in terms of strength. The eldest daughter of the master of the Cloud Sect was fond of collecting handsome men. When she visited the Purple Moon Kingdom for the first time, she saw her little uncle. The witch wanted him to come with her back in the Snow Continent, but obviously, her little uncle refused. The witch was so angry that she believed that Mu Wushuang can't see her beauty thus. She poisoned his eyes that resulted to his blindness. Since then, Mu Qian's body exudes a murderous intent. Her little uncle did not say this heinous crimes, but that does not mean that she won't remember this vendetta. All of the shadows clenched their fist. For people outside, in the face of such a large force, they don't have the strength to be useful. They can't even protect the third master, little master, and the entire Mujia at all. Mu Qian asked them seriously. Speak. Do you want to be strong? No matter how strong or many they are, they can be still wiped out. The original lifeless shadows were now awakened by Mu Qian's words. It let their eyes burn with a fiery glow and shouted, Yes, I can't hear you. Show me your resolution. Is this all what you've all got? Lord, we want to be stronger. Let us be stronger. They shouted with determination with their hearts. A smile came at the corner of her mouth. In addition to the shadows from little uncle's side, gather them all and meet me in my courtyard at midnight. Aside being wealthy, Mu Jia can be considered as one of the weakest clan in the Purple Moon Kingdom. The Cloud Sect is the largest force in the Snow Continent. It is much stronger than the Chamber of Commerce of Nailanyu. But just give her time. She's going to make them pay 1,000 times for hurting her little uncle. Third Master, are you going to stop little Master? A shadow came back to report. Sheer is really getting more and more like Big Brother. He did not know if it was good or bad thing for a girl. Let Sheer do it. If anyone dares to hurt her, then I, Mu Wushuang, will pay him back a heavy price. His weak body, in an instant, burst out a murderous intent. Same with Mu Qian earlier. The shadows came as promised. They looked at the purple figure standing in front of them. Elegant and has a temperament, and most importantly, a person with dignity. They felt that they saw again the former lord who had pulled them out of HELL. Mu Qian throw a scroll of paper. This is part of your training. As soon as they opened up the list, even with 100 lives they can't follow this training, is what they thought. But, since they are already determined to be strong, they don't fear death or pain anymore. Rest assured, I will not let anyone die. You are all my father had pick and my last line of defense. Mu Qian brings out countless bottles of elixirs. Think of this as water. You will all need this when you start the special training that I've made. These are spirit speed elixirs, blood elixir, and there are also elixirs that can heal internal injuries. All the shadows are startled upon the elixirs before their eyes. Aren't these all the elixirs that fetched a high price at the auction the other day? They know that these things are worth millions, but their lord said that they could drink it like water. Did they really hear it right? Mu Qian saw the confused look in their faces and said, "Do not question the words of this lord. If I said it to drink as water, then drink it. But lord, we can't afford to burn money like this. We can't let the Mu Jia run out of money in order for us to cultivate and be stronger." A shadow said nervously, "Who told you these elixirs cost much? I already told you to drink it like water. I did not spend too much on this, so you don't have to feel bad about it. My only request is that you break through to the strength of Spirit King and Martial King as soon as possible. Do you hear me?" Yes. Everyone's eyes are burning with hope. A rapid breakthrough to Spirit King and Martial King. They didn't dare to think about this before. But with the support of the elixirs that are equivalent to second-grade medicinal pills, maybe they can really do it after all. What are you waiting for? Hurry up. If the medicine is not enough, send someone to find me. Yes. Swish, they all went to practice. The next day, Mu Qian refined a lot of elixirs. Not only was it enough for them to drink it as water, but also enough for the 99 shadows to take a bath each with it. If some people who bought this elixirs at the auction known this situation in the Mu Jia, it is estimated that they would vomit blood to death. Another batch of medicine ingredients is ready. Mu Qian is already prepared to start her refining once more. The things that she had bought with the 30 million silver taels are really amazing. But Mu Qian doesn't want to settle for less. She tried to refine a high-grade pill first. The result? Boom. A loud explosion came out. The whole Mu Jia's residence is shaking. Me, Mu Wushuang, can I call you Wu? Wushuang, why? Me, a nothing, does that mean I can't? It's not springtime yet, and the reason for this explosion was Mu Qian's fried furnace. Mu Qian was not harmed when the furnace exploded. In just the right time, she'd used the Eternal Ring to protect them, but that's not the case with Ling Ziling's hand. He crawled out of the rubbles and turned to her. He asked worriedly, "Lord, are you all right?" This time, Mu Qian was the one who's in distress, she muttered. How could it explode? The way I've controlled the heat is perfect. The weight of the ingredients was not wrong, right? Do I really have no talent in alchemy? Where did it go wrong? Ling Zilin comforted her. Lord, no one has been successful in refining the first time. It's normal to fail on the first one, so don't worry too much. And for a beginner in alchemy, they originally have a master by their side. Lord, compared to them, you've done very well. The rest of the clan was also discussing about the explosion that occurred. What was that explosion? The Lord is learning alchemy. The second elder started laughing maniacally. She is learning alchemy? Don't know if she was killed by that explosion, but it would be really nice if that is the case. However, at this time there is another person whose laughing is more exaggerated. Haha, ugly woman, I didn't know that you've have this ability. Ah. Ha ha ha. Mu Qian grits her teeth and said, "If you laugh again, I will make you cry. I thought that since you're proficient in pharmacy, learning alchemy was a piece of cake to you. But as I see it now, you're a complete novice." Ating gloated all the way. So what if I'm a newbie? I will not fail the next time. In the modern times, the art of alchemy was lost. Although she has a lot of good herbs, but in the Mu Jia's library, she can't find a complete basic book of alchemy. The result of her incomplete research was the fried furnace. Stop being so dramatic. Come here, and I'll show you something. Go in. I can still go in? You and I have a contract. Although my strength isn't enough to let in your body, but your consciousness can still come in. I'll let you see a good stuff. Promise you won't regret it. Mu Qian isn't used talking with him like this, so she continues to banter. I wouldn't be interested if the only thing I will saw is your little thing. Ating's enchanting face blushed red and shouted, Mu Qian, do you really want to die? You dare say it's little. Isn't it true? Why don't you admit it already? Mu Qian smiled and said, Mu Qian was fighting with Ating all the way to her courtyard. When Mu Qian was gone, Ling Zilin was at loss from the start. Lord, is this really alchemy? Even if his lord did not attend any school or taught by an alchemist, the way she refines is very powerful. After returning to her room, Mu Qian's consciousness entered the SPAC of Chaos Juzhong Pavilion. At this time, she could float on the water as she wished. Ting's figure stood beside Mu Qian. The light green eyes turned and stared at Mu Qian. Last time you dirted my lake, it took me a lot of effort to get it clean. I really don't want you ugly woman to come in again because it was a nightmare for me. Mu Qian waved her hand to stop him from talking and said, "Don't talk too much nonsense, hurry. Show me the good stuffs. You really take me for granted, huh?" Ting moved the tip of his feet in the water, and it gently lit up. The water slowly stops from moving. A flashing light green color surrounds the area like a curtain. He enchants the words, "Recall us back in time." On the original clear, light curtain, strange sounds were coming out. Master, you are so bad. Beauty, let this master relieve you. Oomph! The gasping voices, the lewd words instantly turned Mu Qian's face to black. She went straight to Ting and kicked him from behind. "You can watch this on your own. Why bother pulling me here? Do you want to die?" Ting barely escaped her kick. He also looked mad as if there's smoke coming out of his head. "Wrong. This is all a mistake. A mistake, I tell you. Who let that man be with a woman in his bed almost every day?" Ting's power to show the past was a complete disaster. Why did it have to be the time where that person is having his way on a woman? Making Ting really humiliated in front of Mu Qian. After a while, a wave in the water was seen. Finally, there is a clear picture in the light curtain. Ting sighs in relief. Finally, it's normal. "You can look now." Mu Qian was still mad. "I will not look. Look at it yourself." Humph. He saw Mu Qian was about to leave. He quickly said, "If you don't take a look, you'll regret it." She turned her head and saw a person being displayed in the light curtain. It's a person with a white robe, refining medicines. The white-robed man has a pair of romantic peach eyes, looks extremely charming, and can confuse the hearts of people. But when he took out the pills in the furnace, his face let out a grave expression. Mu Qian saw that he is very skilled in alchemy. The way he washes, move, and blend the herbs, every action is natural and unforced. Everything is impeccable. This is the real alchemy. The way he refines can't be compared to Mu Qian at all. She only tried to do it casually like how she did in the modern times. But when she saw the wonderful performance of the man in the lake, she develops a strong interest in alchemy again. Her eyes shine so brightly. "Ugly woman, don't look at him too fondly. If you fancy this kind of a person, might as well get a checkup for your eyes. This guy is a scourge to women, definitely not a good man." Ting warned her. Mu Qian's mouth is twitching. What is his problem this time? She is only interested in alchemy. As for that person, she thinks he's just a bit charming, nothing more. That man is mature and tempting, but her interest in medicine is much higher than her interest in men. She raised her eyebrow and asked, "Ting, are you jealous?" "I'm not jealous," Ting angrily shouted. He pointed on the mysterious, giant, blue tripod cauldron in front of the man and explained, "Do you see that big furnace over there? That is the eternal God cauldron, the highest pursuit of an alchemist. If you want to be the top in refining, then you have to find it." A glimmer of light flashed through Mu Qian's eyes. To be the most revered alchemist, of course, a God cauldron is essential. Mu Qian said, "Since Ting already showed it, when the opportunity comes we will definitely find it. By the way, what's with the lake? It's like a movie or something. It's amazing." But the words of Mu Qian just fall. The light curtain disappeared. "Of course it's amazing. I'm going back in time to recreate what I remember," he proudly said. She continued to ask, "Really? So what's up with the first scenes? Don't dwell on that matter. Okay, there are obviously some things that you can't tell me, but I'll make sure you'll say it in the future," she added. "After seeing how this person refines, I have much more understanding on how alchemy works. I'm going to refine some more. So, take your time watching." Mu Qian laughed as she leaves. Watching her disappears, he asked, "Hey, are you sure you didn't fall for that wolf today?" "Me? Ting, how many PORNs do you watch every day?" Degree. Ting. Blushes red. What are you saying, woman? "Me? Huh? Am I wrong? Didn't you just played APOR? No to Mu Qian earlier? Besides, you're a teenager, you have high libido. What's wrong with that?" Ting. Red all over arg. Shameless woman. Oh, how dare you ask me that kind of questions? Me? What's your problem? Ah, I get it now, you're a virgin. Ha ha ha. Degree. Ting, you. You shameless woman. I won't talk to you anymore. Me? Wait. Ting, we're not finished yet. Hey! PFT. Bwahahaha. Bad temper, she heard the words of Ting with a deep doubt. In a short while, Mu Qian almost fell from her chair. Her mouth twitched. Ting, you're thinking too much. Hurry up and go to sleep. But it's true that I fell in love with alchemy, Mu Qian whispered. Success. In the Mujia's pharmacy, Ling Zilin couldn't believe what had just happened. The Lord's second time of refining was successful. She benefited a lot when Ting showed her how an alchemist with a God level cauldron refines. Plus her refining talent is already good. Of course, the second refining will be a success. When Mu Qian went into the pharmacy, she almost made Ling Zilin crazy. With 100% success rate in refining of first-grade medicine pellets were made, 100% success rates in second-grade medicine pellets were also made. Even the third-grade medicine pellets were also a success. The Lord has gone from a person who has never refined immortality pills to a novice alchemist who can refine the third-grade medicine pellets. Even in the whole purple moon, no alchemist can refine with such efficiency. But the Lord only did in a day and a half. Unbelievable. Lord, you've been refining almost a day and a half now. Please have a rest first. Do not to put your body to exhaustion. Ling Zilin could not help but remind her. You're right. Mu Qian also felt tired. She's done testing all of the immortality pills anyway. Oh no. Mu Qian suddenly remembered her appointment with Nailan. She dived into refining medicines that made her to forget everything. Mu Qian ordered little Lin, clean up this place. Also, what happened today you must not tell anyone. Yes, my lord. The Lord spent only 1.5 days to be an alchemist, albeit only a beginner, but with her talents, it may cause shock to others. Mu Qian quickly changed. She left quietly. Master Bai, who's patiently waiting by the door, saw Mu Qian coming in. Son, you finally arrived. You don't know how long did Lord Nailan have waited for you. Actually, the Lord asked him first every quarter of an hour, until he couldn't take it anymore. He directly sent him to wait outside instead. Mu Qian was somehow guilty and said, Sorry to keep you waiting. It's okay. At least you're here now. I thought you would not come. The whole afternoon was about to end. He did not see the boy. So he felt that the boy, like a good illusion, will not appear in general. Mu Qian looked at Nailan. He seems to like the color white. Today, he's still wearing a white mandarin collar-long robe. His long hair is like a waterfall that was tied with a white jade hairpin. Face is flawless like jade, an elegant temperament and a smile that is not forced unlike before. He looked at her nervously. Mu Qian smiled. It's only 3 days, but you've changed a lot now, Nailan. I'm impressed. Nailan, you felt that in front of this youth he can smile naturally, but the smile with others are still perfunctory. You're happy? Nailan, you smiled. Of course, you look so comfortable now compared to before. The carriage is ready. Come with me. The first chamber of commerce is worthy to be the #1 nouveau in the snow continent. Nailan Yu's carriage is luxurious to the extreme. Pulling the carriage are the most purebred of horses from snow continent. A spirit beast closest to the horse, its value can't be estimated. The carriage was very large and comfortable, because Nailan Yu was always out of the town. Inside there was a soft couch, which was covered with snow-white brocade. Mu Qian looked at the couch with 2 bright eyes. She directly lay her lazy self into it. Master Bai is too late to stop her. Son, the soft couch is dedicated to the Lord. No one else can use it. Nailan Yu glared at Master Bai. He instantly shut up. His lord is not angry at this time. Lord Nailan is really indulgent to this youth. It seems that since the young lord was poisoned by this boy, he became different. Mu Qian outright said, This couch is mine. I'm exhausted, so let me rest for a while. Almost 2 days of being restless with refining, then rushing to the auction house. Mu Qian, with this pampered body, cannot carry on anymore. Nailan Yu nodded and said, I'll wake you up when we get there. Go get some rest. Good. Mu Qian slept like a log. How can she be so defenseless with him? Nailan Yu froze. He grew up with a harsh environment, and even his father couldn't trust him this much. But they've only met twice. How can this youth trust him so quickly? His mouth made a warm smile, and it was really a good feeling to be trusted. The reason why Mu Qian rests sure to sleep was because she is too tired, and there is Ah Ting guarding her. If there is danger, Ah Ting is there to remind Mu Qian. Two people's lives together. Ah Ting will definitely do something. Mu Qian suddenly woke up, to be precise. She was awakened by the heat. Upon opening her eyes, she saw a pair of warm eyes. Nailan Yu softly said, "You woke up. It's hot. What is this place?" She asked. "This is Flame Dragon Mountain. We're looking for an alchemist who live around here," Nailan Yu explained. Mu Qian murmured. She had read the records about the Flame Dragon Mountain. She learned that there is a big, eccentric man on this place, and no one can come near him. If it hadn't been for Nailan Yu to bring her here, she wouldn't have known that this so-called big shot was a liar. Nailan Yu took Mu Qian up the mountain. On the top of the mountain there is a house that looks like a lumps of steel. "Who's there?" "Ahoa." RSE voice came. Nailan Yu's standard smile appeared again, saying, "It's me, Junior Nailan Yu. I'm here to make a request to Master Hua Yun to create a piece of spirit tool. If Senior Hua agrees, I will fulfill any condition you have." "Kid, I already told you before that I've stopped on doing that. Even if you have more money in the Nailan family, I still won't change my mind. Now get the HELL out of here. If it wasn't for the fact that your surname is Nailan, I've already burned you to ashes." Nailan Yu seems to touch a sore spot from Master Hua. His grumpy scolding began. "Senior Hua Yun, this junior is sincerely asking for your help. Anything you say, as long as we at the Nailan house can do it, we'll do it for you. Get out. One more word and die." For a moment, violent murderous rage swept by. Mu Qian's pupils are shrinking. This eccentric old man's strength is in the peak of Spirit King, almost the same with her little uncle. Even the weakest countries can't compare to a simple citizen in the snow continent. In this world of martial arts, the strength is too important. She needs to get stronger sooner. Even though her little uncle is the strongest in the purple moon, that is not the case outside. Perhaps in this kingdom, in addition to the Xinyuan Ju Yi and his housekeeper, there are people also hiding which is more powerful than her little uncle. Because of this crisis, she must fulfill her goal no matter what. That eccentric old man must build her weapons. Get lost. Nailan Yu was helpless and apologized. "Brother Mu, sorry to disappoint you like this. I did not thought that Master Hua's temper is worse than what I've imagined." But Mu Qian raised her voice and said, "Of course that old man's temper is bad. He's close to dying. How can it not be bad otherwise?" Suddenly, a violent breath rushed out. "Lad, what are you talking about?" "Be me, Nailan Yu. What is your type?" Closes his book and let out a smile that is not a smile. Nailan Yu. I guess my type is a person with an outstanding beauty and talent. Ah, like Mushi? A chilling air fills the surrounding. Me? Nailan Yu. Wah. What are you planning to do with that sword in your hands? He smiled again, but his eyes isn't filled with mirth. Nailan Yu. You don't have to ask. He smirked. 'Cause you're gonna die soon. Nailan Yu brandishes his sword like a madman. Me? Nailan Yu. If you don't stop now, I'll complain about you to Mu 11. He stopped and looked at me with a beguiled smile. Nailan Yu. Fine, but you better be clear that if our reaches Mushi's ears, I'll make sure to kill you without anyone finding out. Me? Arg. I hate you. You're not cute anymore. Plus. The Lord is about to be expelled. Nailan Yu was pale due to Mushi's unexpected words. He hastily said, "Brother Mu, let's go. If you want to go then leave, but this kid will stay here." A middle-aged man dressed in rags and full of beard and mustache stood in front of Nailan Yu. He stared at Mu Qian and said, "Boy, if you have the guts, say it again." Mu Qian scanned his whole body and said, "You're suffering from fire poison. Moreover, it already reached your bones. As I see it, you will only live for about half a month." He asked Master Hua, "What? Did I say something wrong? Want to kill me? What's the point?" I'm just telling the truth. Master Hua was surprised. How did you know? Even Nailan you felt somehow shocked. This is just their first meeting. How can he judge that Master Hua has been poisoned by fire? Mu Qian slowly said. The tones of your voice sounds like you're hot, yet you're not breathing properly but intermittently. When you move, the breath is not stable, and the color of your face is an abnormal dark red. There's also signs of a black fire in your eyes, fingers. Based on these, I judge you only got a half a month to live. Nailan Yu and Master Bai were shocked. They both knew that this youth is talented in alchemy, but they did not expect that he's also knowledgeable to diseases and such. Master Hua laughed. Only half a month. I only have half a month left. He laughed like a madman for a while but shut his mouth after. I don't want to die, Master Yun said as if talking to himself. Nonsense. How can I die like this? I haven't become a senior alchemist yet. All these years, I've worked so hard. So how do you expect me to believe such things? Mu Qian interrupted him and said, That's easy. I'll give you the antidote to save your life, then you'll have to do me one favor. Master Hua stared at her and asked, You? I've already asked a lot of senior alchemists of my poison, but all of them said there's no way to cure it. Just because they don't, that also means that I also don't have a way to cure it. Boy, tell me, how can I trust you? Because I know that your symptoms, and you only have a half a month to live. If you won't trust me on this, you'll die without trying. The boy said this in a confident way, with the gentle wind that sways her hair and an enchanting face like an elf has bewitched the hearts of all the people present. Like watching a magic, their eyes only looked at Mu Qian. Master Hua breathed deeply. Okay, I believe you. As long as you save me, I'll do what you want for free. Mu Qian laughed and said, All right, remember your words today. Nailan, you testify. Sure. Nailan Yu nodded. Also to add, I always keep my word. Mu Qian smiled at Master Hua's way. This is our agreement. When will you give me the antidote? The longer the time, the more difficult, so of course, I will detoxify it now. Now? Master Hua opened his eyes in shock. Yes, right now. Mu Qian fortunately brought her silver needles on her body today, so she can use acupuncture on him. Master Hua's whole body is covered with silver needles. But every time the needles move, he felt that his body is slowly recovering. He felt a lot more comfortable compared to before. After the acupuncture, she asked, I'll have to borrow your pharmacy to mix something, not just the middle refining chamber. You can also use other rooms. Master Hua said. After a while, he took out a bottle of potion and said, Drink this. It will completely remove the fire poison in your body. Gulp. Master Hua didn't say anything. He directly took the potion in Mu Qian's hand and drank it in one go. After a while, he felt the efficacy of the drug. He suddenly felt that every inch of his body doesn't feel hot anymore. Directly rushed outside and yelled, Ah! Master Bai whispered, Master Hua, did the antidote work? Yes. Master Bai thinks that this youth is a miracle. He knows that Master Hua have already been diagnosed by a lot of senior-level alchemists, but none of them can cure him. But now, the youth only gave a bottle and Master Hua's poison was completely detoxified. Nailan Yu laughed. Are you saying Mu Xi is better than a senior-level alchemist? Mu Qian denied and said, It's not that I'm better than a senior-level alchemist, it's just that I specialize in surgery, and I have a way with poison, you know? Nailan Yu smiled. In the first place, he already has suffered enough from his poison. After a while, Master Hua, who was full of energy and excitement earlier, have come back and asked Mu Qian, Boy, I am a man of my word. What do you want me to make? Mu Qian took out the drawings. Master Hua was completely stunned upon taking a look. What are these? I've been refining my whole life, but I never seen such thing like this. But Mu Qian just said, Don't ask what these for are, but tell me first, can it be done? This thing is not difficult. Do you have any more requests? The needle should be sharp, with a variety of size and... Master Hua took note of all Mu Qian's requests but said, These are easy to do, but recently I have no good ore. Mu Qian directly pulled out the ores she got from the auction house and said, Here, pick anything you need. Deed AMN. Where did you get so many treasures like this? Master Hua saw the oars in front of him. His eyes shone as if he saw a beauty. Good Lord! There is even a nebula Oregon. He was never excited like this in the past. For what have happened today, he almost felt like crying. Mu Qian said, "If you like these oars so much, then give me an advanced-level medicinal cauldron." Mu Jia's equipment are all low-level. It's time for a change. She's a little bit powerful now, but the eternal God cauldron was too far away from her. It's getting late. Master Hua said to Mu Qian to come back after 7 days to pick up the things she wanted to get done, while the cauldron would take a half of month to finish. On the way back to the capital, Nailan Yu asked, "Brother Mu, I always think that you're very knowledgeable. To be honest, I have no idea on that thing you've asked him to make." "What is that?" Mu Qian casually said. "Those needles are my weapons. It can kill or save people. In this world, immortality pills and elixirs aren't perfect. Her agents can sometimes make up for the vacancy. With these two together is the best choice." Needles. Nailan Yu whispered this word. Still do not understand what it is. There are so many mysteries to this boy. After returning to the first chamber of commerce, Mu Qian is ready to say goodbye, but Nailan Yu said, 7 days later, I'll go with you. Mu Qian waved her hand in protest and said, "No, you are the lord of the first chamber of commerce, no less. I know you're busy enough, and since I already know the place, I can go alone." But his words have not finished. Mu Qian already disappeared in front of him. The strength of the youth is much lower than him, but the body is surprisingly fast. After fixing her problem with the drug needles, Mu Qian heard a very unpleasant news. "Lord, the Royal Academy have sent you a warning. If you ditch CLASS tomorrow, they will expel you." Mu Tu came to report. "I am late on posting, aren't I? It's my mother's birthday today, hence the reason for forgetting to update this until now. So yeah, hope you enjoy reading this chapter." To be Ashura's roommate. The former her always ditched CLASS. In the span of 3 years, it only took 20 days to forget that she is a student after all. Prepare the carriage. This lord will go to the academy. She will go to the academy to play. Let those old guys jump for a while. Let them jump higher, so that the fall will be more miserable. Yes, my lord. The Mujia lord's carriage is very luxurious. They are certainly the first nouveau riche family in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Mu Qian's I couldn't help but twitch. Isn't this too flashy? But the horses that pull the cart are definitely top-notch. Since she doesn't have time to change carriage anymore, Mu Qian decided to put up with this for now. Purple Moon Royal Academy is the blessed school in the whole kingdom. Those who enter the academy have a family background, a strong talent, or both. The former Mu Qian doesn't belong in any of the category. Mu Qian's carriage that was about to arrive to the Purple Moon Royal Academy was blocked suddenly by another carriage. The curtain was pulled up, maids from the palace stood from each side, and someone inside yelled at Mu Qian's way. "Mu Qian, you waste. You're the shame of the whole Purple Moon Kingdom. What are you doing here? If you still won't go back to your smelly Mu Jia, believe me, this princess will kill you today." The news about Mu Qian defeating Mu Ruyun and Xinyuan Li Tian was sealed to death, because both the second elder and the royal family doesn't want this thing to get out. As for Xinyuan Li Tian, who was thrown inside a coffin and paraded in the street, everyone thought that he was bullied by the peerless 7th prince. The 8th princess, Xinyuan Jia, is still naive on the truth about Xinyuan Li Tian, so she still treated Mu Qian as waste like before. If Mu Qian defeated a genius like Mu Ruyun with only having the strength of a 4th-stage spirit warrior and even Xinyuan Li Tian, who is second in the list of the top geniuses in Purple Moon Country, then she is the one who's more appropriate to be called waste. Mu Qian yawned and ordered, "Don't stop the carriage. Go straight at them." The carriage driver was scared. "Lord, that's the 8th princess. Who cares if she's a princess? She wanted to kill me, so I'll do the same. Besides, it's just a rundown carriage, no matter how you see it. She's the one who can't afford to pay for the damage," Mu Qian arrogantly said. The driver followed the order of the lord. He really drove past the princess carriage in full speed. There is an accident in front of the Purple Moon Royal Academy. The perpetrators are the Mu Jia's lord, Mu Qian, and the 8th princess, Xinyuan Jia. Although Mu Qian's carriage looks rustic, It was still made from the strongest metal. The princess carriage only looks elegant but lacks firmness. On this clash, it's painfully obvious who the unlucky one is. With a scream, the princess rolled down from the carriage. Fortunately, her strength is in the third stage martial warrior, so she suffered no serious injury, just a bump in her head. The princess' eyes are full of anger as she cursed. Mu Qian, you dare hit this princess. This princess will kill you. But when she was about to call her guards to kill Mu Qian, the coachman on the other carriage has rushed inside the academy. Cough, cough, cough. The dust choked Xinyuan Jia, and tears fall from her eyes. Then she heard Mu Qian's voice. Princess, the payment for the damage you've done on my carriage must be paid. You can go to my house to ask for the amount. I'll go first. Arg. Mu Qian Shi. You piece of shit, you're going to die. Xinyuan Jia stomps her feet in rage. She can't wait to settle the score to Mu Qian. Purple Moon Royal Academy is enormous. Mu Qian find her way to the dormitory using the former Mu Qian's memories. It was called dormitory, but in truth, it was a mansion. Because the Mu Jia has lots of money, before the Lord enters the academy, they gave special arrangements to the school to build her a private dormitory, where she can live alone. But when Mu Qian went to the dormitory, she found the vice president led a black figure into the dormitory. His face is filled with flattering smile. Knight Prince, please go inside. The man's silhouetted back is impeccable. His satin-like black hair is tied with a dark red jade hairpin. His every movement is captivating. Just seeing his shadow would make any person embark. Said. How could he be here? Mu Qian quickly rushed to the vice president's side and asked, Wait, Vice President, what's the meaning of this? Isn't this my private place? Why did you bring in someone else? Xinyuan Juyi this time has a mask on his face. His pair of icy blue eyes looked at Mu Qian like a stranger. Vice President smiled and explained, Don't be mad, Miss Mu Qian. Originally, this place was made for the Knight Prince, but since the Knight Prince won't go to CLA, and your contribution to the academy is large, we let you use the place before. Mu Qian's mouth twitches slightly. What great contribution! Her family's wealth provided the construction costs of this mansion. Mu Qian was said. What now? Are you going to drive away this lord? This mansion is big. It is enough to accommodate 2 people. Student Mu Qian can continue to live here. Vice President smiled. He didn't want to enrage this God of wealth that will result to her donations on the academy being pulled out. No, I don't like living with other people. Mu Qian glanced at Jiuyi. What a bad joke. Living in the same building with this guy. She'll have nightmares every night. Vice President persuaded her. Miss Mu Qian, I really don't have a say on this matter. If you want to live alone on this mansion, please talk with the Knight Prince. He hastily said, I forgot that I have some urgent matters to do on the academy, so I'll go first, okay? His strength is in the 7th stage Spirit King. Even if Mu Qian fly like a bird, she still won't catch him no matter what. DMN Vice President, so irresponsible. Mu Qian's forehead is full of black lines. With the vice president out of the scene, only 2 people were left behind, making the surrounding in an awkward silence. Xinyuan Jiu's thin red lips moved and said, I'm not leaving. Having said that, he gracefully turned around and went upstairs. Mu Qian chased after him. Jiuyi, upstairs is my place. Your place is here below. This SPAC here is mine. Icy blue eyes sweep over Mu Qian. There is no way he will live below. I will live here, so the above belongs to me. Either you're down there or live together with me on the top. Xinyuan Juyi said smoothly, then turned upstairs. He didn't even give Mu Qian a time to talk. The only thing that matters to her is that the top floor has the only bathroom. If this guy also lives above, she will have to cross his room just to get back at hers. There's an unknown chill in the other room. It was even better than an air conditioner. Mu Qian helplessly lied on her bed. Bastard. How can he be so haunting? She felt that this guy had his eyes automatically follows everywhere she went. Mu Qian can't stand it anymore. She thought for a moment and muttered, Ting. Is he afraid that I will ran with the Eternal Pavilion? That's the only reason I could think of. So how about we make a deal to him? How about you go and hang with him? Me, Juyi, welcome back. I almost forgot that you're the ML due to your short screen time. Ha ha ha. So, let me ask this question for now. How would you treat Muqian since you're considered as living together now? Juyi, isn't it obvious? I'll watch over her every day. Me, that's all? Juyi, I'll also never leave her side. Me, and? Juyi, I'll make sure no one else can disturb our life here together. Me, are you out of your mind? She won't feel safe but scared if you do that. Juyi, you dare shout at me? Me, Juyi, you broke my table again. I just bought that. Hoo-hoo. A crime scene. Ting gnashed his teeth. You heartless woman, do you dare to do that? Mu Qian whispered. I'm just joking. Ting, you are one of the eternal artifacts, the eternal pavilion. How can I easily give you to others? Humph. At least you know. Ting coldly said. She saw his bitter face. She won't allow herself to give Ting to others. But she couldn't get it out of her head. What is the beautiful and unique person like the Night Prince wants to do in the end? Don't even think about it. If you practice enough to be better than him, will you still be afraid? This time, it was Ting who's encouraging her. Mu Qian was awakened by his words. Yes, as long as my strength is enough, even if this guy mysteriously appeared again, there is nothing to fear. Since she's back at the academy, naturally she has to go to CLA. SS. She doesn't want to be the first student to be expelled in the Purple Moon Royal Academy after all. The teacher in the lower CLA. SS was surprised by the arrival of the richest lord of the Purple Moon Kingdom. After CLA. SS, he reminded everyone. It's been 3 years already, the School AS assessment will about to begin. For those people that will not pass S to the intermediate CLA. SS, I'm afraid you will have to withdraw from this school. The others are fine, but the teacher looked at Mu Qian. Mu Qian, she was the only one in the lower CLA. SS that hasn't passed said yet to the intermediate CLA. SS in the past 3 years. Mu Qian is somehow anxious. It seems that in this school AS assessment she will flunk in the end. The teacher added. Since that is the case, I will lead you to the martial arts field next where you can exercise your combat effectiveness. All of the students are looking for a partner to practice with, only Mu Qian acts like she doesn't care. Because of the careful teaching from Mu Ruyun, the popularity of the previous her is very poor that almost no one approached her except Mu Ruyun. Swoosh. A sword was drawn out, pointing to Mu Qian. Mu Qian, do you dare to accept my challenge? The crowd froze. How unexpectedly made a challenge. He's in the 3rd stage of Spirit Warrior. In the coming AS assessment, it will likely move him to the middle CLA. SS. He is the strongest in our lower CLA. SS. Why did he even challenge Mu Qian the Waste? For sure that Waste is afraid to accept that challenge. As I see it, she will run off soon. She'll be gone for at least 3 months. This lower CLA. SS is really on point with its name, as the strength of a 3rd stage Spirit Warrior was considered as the top. Mu Qian was helpless. This opponent, she's too lazy to even lift a hand. But she can't let them down. Mu Qian glanced towards How. Her lips slightly evoke a smile, and her dark eyes were deep like an abyss. Sure, I accept. One look, her indifferent self gives How's heart a shiver. The palm of his hand holding the tilt of the sword was full of cold sweat. Mu Qian raised her voice and said, Who will fight How instead of me? This lord will give him 1,000 taels. You, what's wrong? I accepted your challenge, but that does not necessarily mean that I will fight you on my own. Mu Qian arrogantly said. The crowd saw that Mu Qian isn't joking. Soon, someone jumped out. CLA. Smate How, if you have the guts. Fight me. The teenager who appeared looks like a big bear in general. His strength is almost on par with How. How didn't agree yet, but this bear rushed towards him immediately. Bang, bang, bang. Although the first player did not beat How down, Fighting with him already consumed a lot of his strength. Mu Qian gave the bear a banknote worth 1,000 taels. This is your reward. The others looked straight at each other. I didn't think that it's true. OD. Mu Qian is really the Mujia's lord. She's too rich. She can hand easily 1,000 taels. We're on to Wang Hao, fight with me. Wang Hao, come to me. Wang Hao. One by one, a battle of survival. Even if Wang Hao is the strongest on the lower CLA. Opponents with this Tai will surely give him misery. His face is swollen just like a pig. The spirit energy is almost exhausted, but they are still coming one after another. Wang Hao can't continue any longer. Stop. I can't do this anymore. Do you know who I am serving? Clash. Cut the crap. I'm gonna make some money for my brother, so sacrifice yourself. Plop. Princess, help. Wang Hao cried towards a corner. But his savior didn't want to do it. What do we do now, princess? Wang Hao clearly can't do what you want. At this rate, he will continue to call your name. A maid from the princess' side asked, Mu Qian, I can still proceed on my revenge today. I must report this quickly. In this school, it is prohibited to fight. We're about to be graded for AS assessment, so I must make her look good with the teachers. Xinyuan Jiakoldi answered. Mu Qian glanced at the corner. Her eyes flashed a cold light. Want to take revenge, but also with a challenging means. If you have the courage, then continue to humiliate yourself. Finally, Wang Hao was carried out due to his injuries. Many students came to the Lord. CLA. Smate Mu Qian. If you need help again for things like this, come find me. CLA. Smate Mu Qian. Thank you so much. I can finally give my mother a few more clothes. The lower CLA. Where Mu Qian was placed is considered as the lowest of the low. Many students without a good background are placed there together. They don't live well enough to make a big difference in their future lives. After finishing today's lesson, Mu Qian returned to the dormitory and wanted to take a bath in the hot spring. But what shocked her is the flawless skin like a white jade that is soaked in the dense spring water and delicate rounded shoulders that have drops of water that looks like little crystal instead. His eyes were closed as if he's taking a rest. The mask has been removed. His impenetrable eyes and inscrutable countenance can captivate any living being. He's a criminal, all right. Mu Qian took a deep breath. She learned from her memory that there is a natural hot spring bath on the first floor. She wanted to enjoy the said hot spring but didn't expect that she'll come across with this scene. Crash! Juyi stood up. His eye-catching black hair slipped on his waist. His cold air overshadowed the hot springs. Mu Qian wanted to act as if she did not see the things she wasn't supposed to see, but failed miserably due to the chilling air coming out from him. The cold voice came. Have you seen enough? The crystal-clear drops of water fell from his head to his shoulders. His icy blue eyes are moist due to waking up abruptly. It's all too tempting. Mu Qian's heart was beating like crazy. As if it's not her heart anymore, she complained. You already have the only bathroom for yourself, yet you also use my hot spring to take a bath? Now we're even. Goodbye. Mu Qian fled to her room in the second floor. She cherishes her life, so it's best to get away from Xinyuan Juyi quickly as possible. When Mu Qian walked away, the pair of icy blue eyes looked a bit treacherous. With his husky voice, he said, Benjun does not like to lose. Due to living with Xinyuan Juyi, it made her feel that her life here is too risky. When she said the school AS assessment for the middle CLA she plans to continue the style of the former her without getting expelled. She will skip school until the end. The first examination of the Royal Academy was about to begin. She can't believe it. The first exam turned out to be a basic written exam. Since the day she went to the academy, she investigated the situation in the Purple Moon Kingdom, Snow Continent, and a little bit of alchemy. She don't have the time to take a look at the academy's courses. Now the test will about to begin. She doesn't have the time to cram now. There's nothing in the former Mu Qian's head. Mu Qian looked at the scroll, and the first question is how to absorb qi. The second question, the third question. What the hell is this? It seems that with just the first exam, it will be the end for her. Next update will be on Monday. I'm on official business during this weekend. The Night Prince helped me cheat at this time, the teacher said. This is the first exam. If not pious, said, then there's no need to continue the other exam, and you will be expelled immediately from this academy. She is the genius ghost doctor. Is she bound to be expelled without proving herself first? Suddenly, there is a black figure at the entrance of the room. The temperature of the entire examination room becomes cold instantly. The proctor teacher said, "Student, the exam already began. You are already a quarter of an hour late and must." Night Prince. When the teacher saw the appearance of the person coming in, he paled instantly. Night Prince, please come inside. Here, have a seat. The attitude of the examiner changed 360 degrees in an instant. Why is he taking the test? Don't tell me. He doesn't want to be expelled either? Mu Qian said to herself. She wanted to ask, why did the Night Prince came back? Ever since he turned 16 years old, he never returned to the academy, or what had he done for those past years? She doesn't believe that the Night Prince is afraid to be expelled. After all, in the hearts of the citizens of the Purple Moon Kingdom, he is an evil spirit. No one dares to provoke the devil incarnate. Expel him if you dare. After Jiu Yi takes his seat, Mu Qian found out that the other student's writing hand is shaking. This guy is too scary. Don't come out, please. Look at what you've done to these poor children. The first question, the source of qi, is Mu Qian, who's still busy with other students' business, heard a voice inside her head. Second question, third question. Isn't this all answers to the exam? His Highness, the Evil One, the only Night Prince. It seems that the reason he's here is to help her cheat. In order to avoid cheating, the teachers at the Royal Academy of Purple Moon placed the exam here in a room where qi isn't working, or you can say sealed. Once someone dared to have a little action, it will be detected by the examiner immediately. But apparently, this Ashura's strength is too great. With so many examiners, even if he cheats, no one will notice a bit. If the whole Purple Moon known that the Night Prince is doing this much to help her cheat, it will be the most incredible news ever. Even Mu Qian felt this was impossible. Ju Ye's voice in her head is getting colder and colder until he reached the 10th question. If she didn't write, not only expelled, but she will also be killed. Mu Qian's memory is superb. She easily catches up to the 3rd question. She wrote in the same speed with Ju Yi talking. After the 100th question, no one knew when had the Night Prince left. Mu Qian stopped writing. That creepy feeling hasn't gone away. She also pinched her arm. She wondered if it was all a nightmare. However, there was pain that was not a dream. The people in the Purple Moon cannot guess what's on that devil's mind. Even she cannot do it either. Mu Qian didn't bother herself either. She directly submitted her papers. The terrifying person disappeared. There is not much time left either, so the other students have answered the questions quickly. When she returned to the dormitory, she saw Jiu Yi sitting on a white leather couch in the hall. Jiu Yi, on today's matter. Thank you. How do you plan to thank me? He did not look up, but the cold voice came out. Mu Qian felt a little headache. This mysterious man lacks nothing. She doesn't know how many times he has helped her, but she has not thanked him for anything since then. When she thought about it, she took out her newly refined elixir and put it on the table in front of him. This is the best elixir that I had. The effect of this elixir is better than a 3rd-grade medicine pellet. I know it's not much, but kindly consider this as my thanks for today. Mu Qian knows that even a 7th grade or an 8th grade medicine pellet may not interest him that much. Otherwise, how can he easily give her the eternal God ring with no apparent reason? The slender fingers, rubbing the vial, he nodded slightly. Mu Qian. Then I'll go practice. Mu Qian flashed back upstairs. Ating is right. No matter what this guy purpose is, as long as he doesn't kill her, she has still have time to grow. By the time she became stronger than he was, she won't have to feel fear anymore, no matter what his plans were. Mu Qian understood this completely. Even if she became stronger, she must still continue to improve her strength. The test scores came out. Mu Qian got a perfect score, and her grade ranked 1st. This achievement is simply unexpected. In the place where the exam was held, cheating is not possible. So almost everyone thought that Mu Qian the Waste is starting her new life in the academy for the better. What the fuck? She even ranked first. The 8th princess is so angry that her eyes seem to burst out. But it's good that she pious said, so her fall will be much more miserable in the second exam. The second exam is the actual AS assessment. Mu Qian needs to get into the top 100 to proceed on the third exam. The lower CLA. SS has a total of 4,000 people. They will be divided to 40 battlefields. 100 people will battle it out until 10 people remains. For the next stage, the 10 people will partic. IP8 on the 1-on-1 match. On the stage, the few students who benefited from Mu Qian before surrounded her. Mu Qian, rest assured, I will not let you be eliminated. Yes. The money they've got was too much, so every one of them agreed to help Mu Qian pass in this playoff. The rest of the students are annoyed, but this bunch of idiots. You cowards, you're being paid for by this piece of shit. Are you out of your minds? That's right. What does this piece of junk do other than buy people with money? She thinks she can buy all of us here, so she can't be eliminated. We'll attack together. Kill them all. After all, Mu Qian only have more than 10 people on her side and the other side has 70 or 80 people. Even if they are all strong, they can't support her for long. Inside the circle protection squad of Mu Qian, no one sensed a blue water dragon that suddenly fell on the ground, immediately turning the stage into ice. Then a group of people slipped, like a ball. All of them rolled off the stage together and was eliminated. This pile of people just rolled like that. Only the group of people protecting Mu Qian was left. Bang, bang, bang. What was that all about? I don't know. Those people protecting Mu Qian also lose somehow. Are they hiding a hidden expert? I can't see it at all. Just when they've started to guess, the survival battle results had come out. Everyone who watched the battle can't help but talk maliciously about Mu Qian. First for the way Mu Qian bought her CLA's mate to win, as she ended up for the finals without fighting. But the finals are the highlight of this AS assessment. This match is a one-on-one game. No matter how much Mu Qian tried, she can't possibly buy her opponents at all. Added with the fact that the students that also ended in the finals were full of contempt for Mu Qian, the teacher announced a long list of compet. Itian. After reading it's finally her turn. Mu Qian she versus Ouyang Xian. Find a guy who can help you pass the test. Ha ha ha. The price of touching a reverse scale of a dragon. Hearing the referee, the crowd was in an uproar. OGOD. Mu Qian's luck is terrible. She even have to face Ouyang Xian on the first round. Ouyang Xian ranks 4th in the overall ranking of the lower CLA. SS, Mu Qian is finished. Students, please proceed in the stage. Also, this is just an AS assessment. Don't try to kill each other. Mu Qian walked to the platform, and then she saw a gloomy boy jumping to the stage. His hostile pair of eyes was looking at Mu Qian. Waste, you're lucky my cousin didn't actually finish you back then. This time, I'll be the one to make you look good. Ouyang Xian is the little cousin of the Zhongfu's Ouyang Wei. From his small age, he's as vicious as her. But the Mu Qian she today completely ignored the mention of his cousin. That made him look like a fool in general. The judge saw the bitter look of him and said, Student Xian, don't go overboard. Rest assured. I will still leave Mu Qian she a single breath. I will not let her die so easily in the academy. He looked at the referee and asked, What's the matter? My Ouyang clan will bear the burden of removing this trash, so you people must be grateful instead. Ouyang Xian cruel words were heard by everyone. The Ouyang clan has the ability to overturn any family aside from the royals. As a result, even a young master from the branch of the family is lawless like this. The referee teacher is afraid to offend this young man. He never dared to say anything again. The fight begins. Ouyang Xian taunted, Waste, do you want me to ruin your face? Or do you want me to cut all of your hamstrings? I can let you be the same with your uncle, blind and crippled. He has the strength of the 4th stage martial warrior with his aura. He's ready to pinch Mu Qian to death like an ant. But as he was about to launch an attack, Mu Qian mysteriously disappeared. In an instant, a purple figure approached him, a fine arm swings. Snap! The bones of his arm were crushed with a single blow. A purple exquisite dress swayed. Mu Qian landed him a fierce kick, hitting Ouyang Xian's knee. Snap! It was the crisp sound again. Thud! Ouyang Xian directly kneeled on the ground with his arms, looking like a dead dog. The crowd wiped their eyes. They didn't even catch a glimpse of the purple figure's shadow approaching Ouyang Xian. Everything happened so fast like a lightning, they didn't have the time to see it clearly but only saw Ouyang Xian kneeled in a split of a second. On the stage was a girl in a purple dress, standing like a king that rules the whole world. At that moment, the crowd felt that the despised waste is admirable. Her stunning appearance exudes a special charm, making her, the whole person, look very dazzling. Mu Qian is not a waste. She can cultivate just like us. That attack she just made, the strength seems to be in the third stage of martial warrior. What? When did she start to cultivate? Ouyang Xian wanted to admit defeat due to the pain, but too bad for him. This is only the beginning. Clock. Mu Qian moved once again. Ouyang Xian's body was kicked into the air like a ball. The crowd was stunned. The fight still continues. You're the waste. You even dare mention my little uncle with how weak you are. You are not worthy to mention my little uncle's name. Even my little uncle's shoes can't be compared to you, trash. Plop. Help. Ouyang Xian's body was kicked into the air multiple times. His mouth keeps vomiting blood and the bones in his body were not intact anymore. Tian. At long last, a true person who vomits blood XD. The people are dumbfounded, too violent. It's horrible. There is a legend that every dragon has its reverse scales that is shaped differently from others. If you touch it, you will bring down the dragon's wrath upon yourself. Mu Qian was quick. Ouyang Xian's body before landing on the ground was fiercely kicked again, throwing him into the air once more. Everything happened so fast that the referee couldn't react enough. He hastily shouted, Mu Qian, stop. Don't go over. It's too windy. I can't hear you. Clock. Mu Qian continues. Cough. 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 Ouyang Xian fainted due to the pain. As he lost consciousness, he still continues to vomit blood. Everyone who saw the fight felt a cold air. They all took a few steps back as Mu Qian walked out of the stage. The always cowardly Mu Qian, she was so fierce today. When did she become this scary? After the semifinals, the first 100 contenders' name followed, and the referee began to read the names of the partic. IP Ants. Yu Su, Mu Qian Shi. What is with Mu Qian's luck? Yu Su's strength is in the 4th stage martial warrior, the lower CLA. number 1 genius. Isn't it too bad? Actually I also think you're right. Even his older brother ranked 7th in the Purple Moon's geniuses. How can his talent be poor? I bet it won't last long until he catches up with his brother. Although Mu Qian defeated a 3rd stage martial warrior like Ouyang Xian, no one was optimistic about her on this match. But they never thought the Yu Su brat would say, I will let you have 3 strokes. The semifinals was easy for Mu Qian. She might have thought that it is the same case with the finals. Everyone felt that this waste is truly disappointing, but what truly disappoints them more is the teenager's arrogant attitude. Mu Qian looked at this teenager's eyes and asked, Oh, are you sure you want me to make 3 strokes? Of course, I'm a man of my words. Mu Qian didn't hesitate to make a move first. She's as fast as lightning, that Yu Su felt a bad premonition. But by this time he was too late to dodge. Boom! His body flew out, with his chi being poured out. It let him stayed on the stage. Yu Su at the age of 17 reached the 4th stage martial warrior and was considered as a genius in the Purple Moon like his elder brother, but his talent wasn't due to various help of immortality elixirs and pills like Mu Ruyun, but from his real effort alone. Whoa! Mu Qian almost blew Yu Su off the stage. He ranked 1st in the whole lower CLA. How is this possible? Is Mu Qian also in the 4th stage martial warrior? She doesn't have this strength before. Mu Qian's cultivation is on par with GODS, with the help of Chaos Jiuzhong Pavilion. Whether it is higher or lower than her strength, No one can see the depth of her strength. No one would believe that Mu Qian from a waste reached a 5th stage spirit warrior with only 7 days. Yu Su is shocked. Who told him Mu Qian she is a waste? Isn't that his way to kill him? He pulled out his sword and is ready to attack Mu Qian at any time, but was reminded by Mu Qian. Hey, didn't you say I have 3 strokes? I only made one. Yu Su wanted to slap himself really hard. It seems that he's forced riding a tiger with his blunder before. Are you backing up with your words? Of course not. Yu Su bites his lip. Okay, I will continue then. Mu Qian's body flashed again. She shot once more. Exclamation point. Yu Su tried to resist, but the light-headed punch contains a terrible power. He cannot block it with his body alone. Once again, his body flew out of control until to the edge of the stage. The crowd were stunned, completely did not believe that everything they're seeing right now is true. I feel sorry for Yu Su's naivety. He can only accept his misfortunes and cry he was just unprepared on the first stroke, but for the second stroke, he unleashed all of his chi but still can't resist. Has the strength of Mu Qian reached the 5th stage already? In the Purple Moon Kingdom, if someone reached the 5th stage at the age of 16, he can be considered as one of the best. Is she really a waste? The last stroke? Hurry and get it over with. Mu Qian approached Yu Su, who's standing at the edge of the stage, and gently kicked him down from it. He falls down quickly. He roared, Mu Qian, you played me. Yu Su wants to cry. He lost just like that. Mu Qian, you bully. Although he can't tell how high her strength is, but in his point of view, with moves like that, she's definitely stronger than him. She agreed on letting her have 3 strokes even though she's better than him. If that's not bullying, I don't know what it is. You said it yourself. I even asked you if you're serious, but you said you're sure about it. So why bother complaining it to me now? Mu Qian said casually. Cough. The more she rubs his wounds like that, the more he wanted to vomit blood. Mu Qian wins. The referee felt that everything that has happened is quite unbelievable. Originally, some that Yu Su will win, and that Mu Qian doesn't have a chance at all. Mu Qian won 3 times in a row, and was qualified to continue to the 3rd examination. Almost all of the students in the lower CLAs no longer dare to despise Mu Qian or even scorn her like before. She crippled Ouyang Xin, whose strength is in the 3rd stage martial warrior, and even beat the strongest in the lower CLAs, Yu Su. Who dares to provoke her after that? When Ouyang Xin returned to his residence, his bones can still be connected. His external injuries were fine, but he can never lift his arms and even move his legs ever again. The strangest thing was his vision seems to get weaker. No matter where he looks, it's only a blur. The Ouyang clan called countless pharmacists. They even went to look for an alchemist, but they all said that there's no way to cure him. No one knows that Mu Qian sent them a gift when he was playing Ouyang Xin. Some of her newly refined poison was used against him. All she caused was the trauma. All the watchers at that time can be her witnesses. And she's a waste, no matter how. She doesn't have the ability to make a person be a waste just like that. The Ouyang clan can't find any adequate reason and is absolutely afraid to go to Mu Jia to make trouble. Don't forget that the Mu Jia still have their peerless 3rd master. What? You want them to go into the heavenly forest? As soon as the vice president received this notice, his initial reaction was shocked. This order is from This will be the location for the 3rd examination. Let the students experience the wilderness inside the forest. Didn't we always use the royal hunting grounds before? How come this time it was the heavenly forest? The most suitable place to get experience is the royal hunting grounds where there are many magical beasts roaming. But the heavenly forest is full of wild beasts, very dangerous. The higher-ups also said that the effect of the royal hunting ground isn't much, so for this assessment, we'll use the heavenly forest instead. Don't worry, as long as the students don't go too far from our site, and they're not in a life-threatening situation, it would be okay. Fine. The next day, Vice President called all the teachers and the 100 students that will partake. I peed 8 on the 3rd exam. They were all seated to a flying beast that will take them into the forest. At the entrance of the heavenly forest, The vice president announced matters regarding the examination. This is the location for the third examination. You will pass this exam as long as you succeeded on hunting a first-rank magical beast and get its beast core. You only have 7 days to complete it, or you can withdraw ahead of time. The magical beasts are divided into 7 ranks. A low spirit warrior can only deal a second-rank beast. The higher the rank is, the stronger it will be. Each of you will be given a jade card. Once you're in danger, break this jade card, and a teacher will come to save you. If that happens, you will not be promoted to middle CLA. This test will depend on your performance, so do your best. He raised his arm and announced, the third assessment begins. Even if they are the elites of the Purple Moon's Royal Academy, but that doesn't mean that it will be easy for them to beat a first-rank beast individually. So a lot of people before going inside the forest formed a small group. With a team effort, their chance of beating a beast will be higher. She doesn't know if they've been warned, or if she's been hated. Even if she isn't a waste anymore, no one wants to team up with Mu Qian. Mu Qian didn't bother to say anything. For her, it is more convenient if she acts alone. I have to say, this forest is really a treasure because a lot of herbs are growing here. Mu Qian completely forget that she's still taking the third exam. She began to concentrate on herbs instead. Besides, they have 7 days. She doesn't believe that while picking herbs for 7 days in the heavenly forest, she wouldn't encounter a first-rank beast. Mu Qian, who's collecting a lot of herbs, felt that she is being followed. Mu Qian's eyes were cold. It seems that someone in this forest wanted to kill her. On the other side, the people following her are talking about the person collecting herbs. It is time to do it. There's no one around. Go. Swish. 530 to 40 years old middle-aged men rushed out and shouted, little girl, hand over your money and we'll let you live. Dare to rob this lord. You're all looking for death. Mu Qian body flashed, then went behind them. The water dragon condenses into an ice blade, piercing the heart of one bandit. Little girl, you want to die. The remaining 4 people drew out their swords and attacked Mu Qian. Mu Qian's both hands were raised. Water dragon slash! Exclamation point. The highest strength they have is a 9th stage spirit warrior. The lowest is in 7th stage spirit warrior, a lot higher than Mu Qian's strength is. But the sudden burst of her power let them be in a disadvantage. A 5th stage martial warrior? She even has an elemental affinity. Their faces changed dramatically. They didn't have enough time to react. Mu Qian's beautiful face came closer. The 4 of them saw her cold eyes. Exclamation point. They don't know what happened but have only found out that they can't move their bodies at all, and each one of them fell to the ground. Say it. Who the hell sent you? If you dare lie to me, this only proves you don't want your life anymore. Mu Qian angrily asked. At this moment, these men felt that they're looking at a monster. Didn't say she's only a 4th stage spirit warrior? She's obviously in the 5th stage and has a water element to boot. Isn't this a trap? Have mercy. We're really just making money. Yeah, that's right. She looked down at them. Do you want to know why all of you fell down? That's because this lord poured a deadly poison to each one of you. If you spit another lie, I will fill your body with worms that will eat your bones until nothing is left. Wouldn't that be wonderful? The strength of the 4 of them was enough to defeat her, but now that they're inflicted with poison, they all became useless. Looking at Mu Qian's evil smile, they can't help but feel afraid that everything she had said is true. The sound of screams echoed throughout the forest. The bandits were all in pain as they rolled on the floor begging for mercy. Lord, please spare us. Yusu, Wah. I've been deceived. Me? Isn't that your fault in the first place, Yusu? I didn't know that she's stronger than me, so. Sniff. Sniff, you wouldn't understand. Me? Are you a kid? Why are you crying noisily and uncontrollably like this? Stop, Yusu. But I'm sad. I can't help it, me. That's it. I've had enough. I'm gonna call your elder brother. He stopped me from leaving and yelled. Yusu, you heartless woman, aren't you gonna try to comfort me first? Don't call my brother here, else I'll say bad things about you to Mu Wushuang me. Oh really? You don't even know him personally, so how do you plan on doing that? Yusu, Wah. You're also a bully. He cried while running away. Me? What the helloshit? I forgot to ask him a question. You Sue, come back? We're not finished yet. // She is the ghost doctor who uses poison to kill We are the princess guards. She sent us to get her revenge. I can't anymore. It's the 8 princess So it is really the 8 princess. Mu Qian smiled lightly. Their pain stopped. She looked at them. How does the 8 princess want to get back at me? Don't even try to hide it. She wanted us to beat you until you can't move. Then let the wild beasts here eat you. Then you can all disappear completely now. Mu Qian murmured. She poured white powder on top of them. A gust of wind blew through the floor, leaving no trace. A ghost doctor's poison can kill people just like that. Bellow. When Mu Qian was about to start to gather herbs for her refining again, a first-rank bull-like beast rushed over. Come here. Her body was quick like a cheetah, in the face of danger. She took the initiative to attack the fierce beast. Exclamation point. One by one, she dodges its attack with high precision, making the bull dizzy. Grunt. The bull's horn was broken by Mu Qian. Mu Qian looked at the horn and said, "This is just what I need right now." The beast's eyes were red. It seems that it's already in a crazy state. But Mu Qian was faster. She dashed towards the beast and killed it. Thud. The huge beast body suddenly fell to the ground. Mu Qian took out a dagger to dig out its beast core. Didn't expect to finish the task completely. What luck. I still have few more days to collect herbs then. Mu Qian defeated the first-rank beast, from beginning to end. She just used her combat skills from the modern times, and didn't even have to use her chi for a bit. Mu Qian continues to collect a lot of herbs, and while at it, she also encountered a lot of first-rank beast and gets its beast core after. For other students who formed a group, upon encountering a first-rank beast, it caused them to feel terrified, while Mu Qian was like leisurely walking in a park. Not long after, a slight frown appeared on her eyebrows. From the dark, she detected a presence. This time it's not a rookie, but a professional killer. These killers are not what Xinyuan Jia had sent. Their strength is a lot higher than hers, and they're not easy to deal with. Her life-saving elixir has not yet been refined out. It seems that she only had one choice left. The strength of a 5th-stage spirit warrior enveloped her whole body. The purple figure flashed as she hid into the woods. That's a 5th stage, right? Didn't they say she's a waste? A subtle voice of surprise came. So what if she's a 5th stage? We brothers only need 2 shots. Still afraid? The older one smiled evilly. Go. The oldest ordered. The 3 killers rushed towards the direction of Mu Qian Shi. Even though Mu Qian cultivation talent is high, but with the strength of these 3, it is enough to kill her easily. Behind her came a sound of broken footsteps. Cold, murderous air spreads the area. Mu Qian's heart is slightly heavy. These killers are not easy to deal with. Their distance is getting closer. Mu Qian turned around and calmly said, "How much money have they paid you to kill me? I'll pay you guys 10 times more if you give up this task." 10 times the price. She really is worthy of being the Mu Jia's lord. So generous. But even if they're killers, they still have principles. A little down payment for you first. Mu Qian throws up a pill bottle. Boom. Before the bottle falls down into the ground, it exploded. Transparent gas surrounds them. Get out of the way, it's poisonous. There was a scream. Although they reacted quickly enough to escape, but they still have inhaled some of it due to her unexpected move. This poison is terrible. A killer at this time was already rotting, too horrible to look at. Mu Qian's fine young arm waved, and suddenly, countless powders were flying out towards the killer's direction, forming a burst of smoke in front of them. She also has disappeared in this white smoke. Mu Qian refined this poison when she's being held at the Ashura's mansion back then. It was supposed to be his gift for him, but didn't expect that it would be used towards these killers instead. Run quickly. Your strength is too weak. Those 3 is in the peak of a 9th stage. Those poison will give you time to escape. Ating couldn't watch anymore and said, "The water dragon G.O.D. ring can only help you beat those people whose strength is in the 8th stage. If only I regained my original strength, you don't have to run like this." Theirs was a light in her eyes. I know, But even if there are in peak of 9th stage warrior, there are many ways to kill them on this forest. Taking advantage of the time, Mu Qian uses the terrain of the heavenly forest. She began to set up traps that have a variation of poisons in it. This made Ah Ting's mouth to twitch up. Sure enough, you can't offend a woman. She waved her way out. This isn't enough. I have limited time to set this all up. In order to protect my life, I can only set these simple traps instead. Russell. The 3 killers are about to reach Mu Qian's location. The killer who was poisoned earlier is now stable, but each of them had a miserable face. They must kill that D.M. Ned woman for this disgrace. In a moment, she stood in front of them and laughed. What took you guys so long? This lord was bored waiting. Mu Qian, I will kill you. The killer with a wretched face was so angry that he almost rushed towards Mu Qian but was stopped by his accomplice. Third brother, don't be impulsive. There must be a trap. Mu Qian turned her back and said, if you dare not kill me, I will go back to sleep. D.A.M. you. Brother, she's just bluffing. Come on. He was so angry while rushing towards Mu Qian. When he was about to close his distance with Mu Qian, countless explosions suddenly occur. He was poisoned again, but this time the toxic is much stronger. He fell down into one of Mu Qian's traps. Arg! Heart-rending screams filled the area. Although he's not seriously injured, he can never be a man anymore. Third brother. When the 2 killers saw what happened, they were completely angry. Swish! Countless poison needles flew over, like the rain falling down at them directly. Arg! My eyes! The poison needles and powder fell into the second killer's eyes. He felt a sharp twinge of his eyes, and his sight was dark. Your traps has put them too in a difficult position. The way they look now looks miserable. Ha ha ha. Ah Ting laughed like a lunatic. Mu Qian rolled her eyes. She's in danger, but this guy doesn't do anything but just talk and talk. She felt some doubts that this guy isn't the spirit of the eternal artifact like Chaos Juzhong Pavilion at all. Mu Qian said, it's just 2 people. There's still one left. F-U-C-K. I'll kill you. As soon as he saw his 2 brothers' miserable states, his eyes were so red from anger. He bit his teeth, took a pill out of his cloth, and swallowed it. Suddenly the power in his body skyrocketed. Mu Qian being a bada. SS again. You're the one who's going to be killed. Mu Qian felt his power has fluctuated and suddenly became stronger. Spirit Master. This guy is forcing himself up. It's tricky. With opponents with the same order as her, she can think of countless ways to kill them with poison. But to kill a Spirit Master with only those, she isn't naive to think that it will work. Mu Qian has been running inside the forest for the whole day already. The killer is finally catching up towards her at an astonishing speed. Mu Qian, you're going to die. Die. Rumble. The fury of his power swept away Mu Qian from behind. With the current speed of Mu Qian alone, she can't hide from him. Water shield. Clash. Even with the shield of the eternal ring, Mu Qian's body still was. HIT and flew out. Thud. The purple dress was smeared with dirt because it fell on the ground. Mu Qian's mouth spilled blood. The huge gap on their strength is too great. But Mu Qian looked at the red fruit behind her. There was a glint of cold light in her eyes. She took the fruit without a trace and then, slowly, stood up. She remained on the place where she stood. The killer was somehow lost. Lord Mu, why aren't you running anymore? Mu Qian said, I can solve your brother's wounds and poison if you let me go. I'll also give you the antidote. If you kill me here, you will gain nothing. This is the cure for your brother's eye. Try it to him. If you wait any longer, your brother's eyes will be blind forever. Mu Qian threw a red fruit. The fruit is not poisoned. As soon as he catches the fruit, he said, the poison can be relieved later. If I don't kill you now, I'd feel unsafe. Terrifying murderous intent filled the surrounding. Mu Qian's whole body was shrouded. Mu Qian smiled a little. She slowly said, the one who's going to die. It isn't me but you. The young lady's exquisite face is hung with a cold smile. Her pitch-black eyes are coldly looking at him as she turns her back at him. All of a sudden, A sharp pointed horn came through from behind him. Mu Qian's figure flashed, already far away from that dangerous place. The one-horned goat looks at the evil one with anger. It has been watching the Scarlet Heart for hundreds of years already, but when it came back from hunting, it saw this person holding it in his hands. Is he tired of living? Scarlet Heart is a third-grade spiritual fruit. It is natural that there is also a third-rank beast guarding it. Those beasts treat this fruits like their own child. It won't let anybody took it from them no matter what. Mu Qian came to know it from reading books in the Mujia's library. He did not understand why this beast suddenly shot him just to save the little girl. Crash! Evil One's body flew out. That hit him hard, but his injuries were not fatal. Run. He isn't a third-rank beast's opponent at all. Inhuman. Wanna run? Dream on. The only way out was blocked by the beast. His only choice is to fight. He's not a match of a third-rank beast before, but now, when he's seriously injured, he had no choice but to fight for his life. That Mu Qian, she has disappeared, but he knew that she can't run that far. He shouted, Mu Qian, she, are you the demon? How is it possible that a third-rank beast is helping you? Fuck. He believed that Mu Qian is the devil, instead of realizing the fact that the fruit in his hands was the reason for the beast fury. If he let go of the fruit, there might been a chance, but at this time he did not think so much. Boom. The one-horned goat is entangled. The killer tried his best to land his strongest attack on it in the end. Clash. Boom. His final blow hit the beast and is a little hurt. Once again the beast rushed towards the killer, piercing his heart. At this moment, the thing he hated the most is not being able to kill this third-rank beast, but Mu Qian Shi. He swears, Mu Qian Shi, you will not die well. You can't die well. Thud. The killer died with his eyes both open. The one-horned goat stepped on its corpse and wanted to pick up the red fruit. It looks like this human doesn't have any companions, but if the red fruit was taken off from its tree, it will dissipate not long after. It didn't even try to eat it first due to waiting for it to be ripe, but was almost head by an ant instead. Arg. Damn. The killer's third brother turned into a eunuch. The second brother's pain in his eyes caused him to swoon a few times, and he bites his teeth. The third brother said, Second brother, don't worry. Eldest brother will come back for us soon. After avenging us to Mu Qian Shi, he can give us medicine pellets that will cure both of us. It seems that your only hope is lost. A light laughter came, and the two of them saw a familiar purple figure which appeared in front of them. Her smile was bright, but the two people had a terrifying expression. You're still alive, so big brother he. Their hearts were cold. Of course he's dead. Amen. We got fooled. Mu Qian isn't alone in this exam, and she absolutely has a hidden master to protect her. Say it. Who the hell sent you? Is it the elders in the Mujia, or the Ouyang clan? There was only coldness in her eyes. He laughed like a madman. You don't understand the rules of us killers. We will not disclose the information of the employer in any way. They stared at her with emotionless eyes. Lord Mu, don't think that since you escape once you can be safe from now on. I'm sure you will join us in HELL very soon. After saying that, they killed themselves cleanly. It doesn't matter if you don't say it, Mu Qian coldly said. In an instant, her face changed. A fishy smell suddenly came. A giant beast has sealed off the perimeter and searched the area. Mu Qian frowns. Good thing is that she had done her homework before going outside her home. After learning about this world's medicines, she also learned so much about beasts. The blood python is a fourth-rank beast and loves the smell of blood the most. Its favorite meal is human's flesh. Hiss! The blood python rushed towards Mu Qian's direction. Mu Qian tried to avoid it, but this time she's not its goal, but the two bodies, which allows her to escape. The giant python entangled its tail to the bodies of the two killers and put it in his mouth. After gulping, his big bra's eyes are staring at Mu Qian Shi. It's like speaking to Mu Qian to stay. After eating those two, she will come next. She can't escape. Once she made even a tiny move, the blood python will absolutely kill her. Mu Qian's luck sure is the worst. I will not let you guys wait any longer. I'll post another chapter in a bit. Hold on, just don't let go. It's an emergency. The only hope now is, Mu Qian hastily asked. Ting, can I get into the Chaos Zhuzhong Pavilion now? As long as she can enter the Eternal Pavilion, don't say a blood python, a 4th-rank beast, even if a 9th-rank beast appears, it can't find her. Your strength can only open the Eternal Pavilion in your mind, but your body still can't get in. Ting answered truthfully. Her heart is sinking more and more, but Ting added, Ugly woman, fight. If I get my body, I'll return here to get your corpse. Don't let that blood python eat you. I'm a good man. DAMNU. Even in life or death, I can't rely on you for a little bit. Mu Qian roared. After swallowing the 2 bodies, the blood python, like a strong wind, rushed towards Mu Qian. Mu Qian quickly leaped. She throws all of the poisons on her body to the blood python. Giving all of her chi, she made her strongest move. Water slash. Boom. A water blue dragon and the blood python clashed together. Although that attack has more poison, but against the STURDY body of the blood python, everything is useless. Even if the water dragon accurately hits its target, but with how weak her 5th stage spirit warrior strength is, can only break a few scales of the blood python. Upon seeing the pieces of scale falling, the blood python is very angry. This small ant dares to resist. Roar. It was a roar, but a whirlwind came towards Mu Qian's direction. She flew and fell to the ground. Crash. Mu Qian's right shoulder was hit by the violent force. Snap. She could hear the sound of her bones breaking and her mouth spilled blood. The smell of blood stimulates the appetite of the blood python. It will definitely enjoy this food. When it saw that Mu Qian isn't moving any longer, he opened his mouth and was ready to swallow its 3rd meal for today. Mu Qian, whose life is hanging by a thread, suddenly felt a change in her surroundings. A strong aura came. Everything around her seemed to be still. The blood python trembled. How is it possible? How could there be such a powerful man in this little place? Its large body slowly shriveled up as if it was deprived. Then its scales, its flesh, and its body melted into powder in an instant, leaving only a white skeleton behind. Ting stopped chanting. Since this guy already came, then I do not have to do it. Then he went to bed with his eyes closed. It felt that God has descended in front of Mu Qian. In just split second, the blood python has completely disappeared in front of her. His elegant and magnificent bearing is reassuring, but his peerlessly beautiful face still looks bland as ever. The moment when he came, it was as if all that was in the heavens and the earth was nothing compared to him. Ji. Mu Qian looked surprised. Then he took Mu Qian into his arms. Hurt? His voice is calm with no emotion, but he was already reaching out to untie her clothes. I'm an alchemist. I can treat myself. Mu Qian hastily stopped his hands. He clasped her waist tightly and leaned her in his arms. The black, exquisite robe was drenched in the blood of Mu Qian's shi. A single word was said. Hurry. Mu Qian's mouth is twitching. He wants her to handle the wound in this position. But apparently, she had no other choice. This man won't let go on this matter otherwise. In the modern times, the girls there wear strapless dress in summer and considered as the normal thing to do. Her injury is severe, so she couldn't care for Jiuyi here either. Mu Qian quickly untied her clothes. The clothes slipped to her shoulders. She then sprayed her healing elixir onto the wound and bandaged it afterwards. She was once a ghost doctor, so she finished it in a short time. If this was another person, they won't meet Night Prince's fast standard. Looking at that white, jade-like shoulder, Jiu Ye's icy blue eyes suddenly became deep. A medicine pellet was sent in front of Mu Qian. Eat. I'm an alchemist. I have my own, you know? Mu Qian was ready to take out her own medicine pellet, and as a result she felt cold temperature in her lips came over instead. Xinyuan Jiu Ye's slender hand holds the medicine towards Mu Qian's lip. His hand was cold and he said again, Eat. Mu Qian looked at his dangerous eyes. If she refused again, maybe the one who's going to be turned into bones like the blood python before will be her. She took the medicine in his hands to eat. After swallowing, Mu Qian was shocked. 9th grade medicine pellet. Although her talent in refining is high, and the effects of refining a third-grade medicine pellets is certainly better than others, but that can't compare to the ninth-grade medicine pellet she swallowed just now. In the Purple Moon Kingdom, the emergence of a second-grade medicine pellet is already amazing, but he readily took out a ninth grade here easily. Why does it seem that his power both in strength and resources can't compare to the other princes? Mu Qian turns her eyes to look at the man beside her. His cold and dangerous aura is enough to keep people away like an evil spirit would. Zhu Yi, I've already dealt with the injury. Can you let go? Mu Qian words have not finished yet, but was cut off by Xinyuan Zhu Ye's two words. You're recuperating. Mu Qian's mouth is twitching so hard right now. Does that mean he wants to hold her until she's recovered? Due to the reason that a fourth-rank beast is nothing to this Ashura's eyes, Mu Qian calmed herself and decided to avert her attention instead. Zhu Yi, what are you doing here in the forest? Same as you. Oh, he really is a special student of the Royal Academy. In the first exam, he gave his blank paper. In the second exam, he abstained. For the third, the Academy didn't dare to cancel his eligibility to partake in the third examination. That's the only thing she has in mind. She has nothing else to say any longer. Two people are so close together but were silent. Zhu Ye's medicine is powerful. The pain did not torment her for too long. Mu Qian said, I have recovered. Full recovery. She wanted to run away from his arms, just a little bit, but her full recovery is going to take for a while longer than expected. Mu Qian grew tired of waiting. She directly fell asleep in Zhu Ye's arms. Zhu Yi looked at her serene sleeping face. There are still no emotions in his eyes, but a subtle upward move from his mouth can be seen. When she woke up, she was in good shape and said, Can you now let go? But Zhu Yi still did not move and looked deeply at her. At this time, a white shadow suddenly rushed towards Mu Qian. Me, Zhu Yi, welcome back. So for today's question? Ooh, I think it's the best question so far. Ahem. What is your reason for helping Mu Qian every time? Do you like her? Zhu Yi. Isn't it obvious? Me. No, sorry. Zhu Yi. Since that is the case, you don't have to know. Me. Wait. But the readers also want to know. Zhu Yi. Is it my problem? Me. No. Zhu Yi. Then there's no problem, right? Me. But Zhu Yi gave me a death glare. Me. Eep. No, it's okay. Zhu Yi. If there's nothing else, I shall go first. Me. Okay, bye. Take care. Zhu Yi left me. Why do I get the feeling that he's just giving excuses? Arg. I miss my wooer. I'm the only one who can do it. Courting death. Zhu Yi coldly said. Suddenly a bloody red layer that can conquer every obstacle appeared in front of them, but surprisingly, that little white thing broke through. The white thing jumped into Mu Qian's arms, opened its mouth, and took a bite on it. Mu Qian froze. What happened today? She just borrowed a goat-like beast to kill her enemy, but was hurt by two other beasts instead. She looked at the little fluff in her arms, and it was all white, without a trace of mottling, with pointed ears, and looked extremely lovely. A pair of purple eyes like amethyst. It glanced at Zhu Yi, and a sly look flashed on its eyes, and changed into an adorable state in Mu Qian's arms. Zhu Yi's icy blue eyes narrowed on the small white cat and shouted, Get out! But this time, in Mu Qian's mind, a voice flashed. Under the everlasting heaven, the supreme being in the world of beasts is only I, Tianxia Wudi, hereby declare our contract. Agree. Two extreme powers collide in her soul. Mu Qian found out that this small guy is forcing her to establishing a soul contract between them. This? Mu Qian with a look of panic in her eyes. Ating also exploded. He yelled. The fuck is this thing doing? Dares to make a contract on my contractor. Is it tired of living? If Ating can get out this instant, he would definitely chop this kitten into meat sauce. Mu Qian was wrapped up by black and white light. The power of establishing a soul contract still lingers in the air. A terrible aura surrounds the area. Zhu Ye's face turned dark. There will be no living being that dares to force the woman he wanted to protect. A scream was heard. What's going on? How can it be a master-servant contract, meow? Arg. Woody Tianxia clearly didn't make a mistake. So how did I become someone's servant now, meow? His little ears shake, but with how crudely he said it added with his adorable appearance, it really don't match. Ting sneered and laughed out loud. You piece of shit. You want the master of the eternal pavilion to be your servant. Dream on. With how weak you are right now, you can only be a contracted beast for this ugly woman. Woody's meows were frantic with worry. What do you mean? I am Woody Tianxia, the invincible one. Tell me how I could accept that our contract was a master-servant, meow. Mu Qian's lips are trembling. Invincible? You? Huh. In that case, I'm your great aunt. Woody meowed. Your slogan is good, but believe me if I said that I am invincible, meow. Ting burst out laughing. Throughout the world, 10 millions of years, I have not seen a beast like you. You clearly think so highly of yourself, but it's clear as day that you're only a common mixed-breed beast. Woody was so angry. I am Woody Tianxia, the invincible one. You dare say I'm just a common beast, meow. I can't sense any power in you. How dare you brag about destroying the world? You better go to bed, so you can continue to dream. Ting rolled his eyes. Mu Qian was dazed. Even Ting doesn't know what type of magical beast this kitten is. Although Ting said that he senses nothing out of ordinary from this kitten, but some things are clear. One is, it can break through Jiu Ye's defense easily and force to her to make a contract, plus the black and white powerful aura she saw earlier is definitely connected to this kitten. The ear of the mighty Woody is a little red from Imbara's smint. That's because there was an accident, so all my power is gone. When I get back to my old glory, you'll know I'm good. Ha ha ha. Mu Qian asked. Ting, what about this kitten? Since the deed is done, it doesn't matter if the reason for making a contract with her is due to liking her or wanting her to be its servant. She doesn't know if it was because of Ting or someone else, but the kitten had already become her contracted beast. Ting sized up the Woody and said, although this kitten looks like an idiot, but the soul contract is too strong, you can't undo it anymore. So you can only take this stupid cat as your contract beast. A dead pavilion dares to call me stupid, Woody angrily retorted. If I'm stupid, then you're more stupid. A stupid and dead pavilion. I'm not stupid. You are. The contract SPAC is a bit lively. Mu Qian thought this is a great way to get in touch with your friends and family. She pinched the kitten's ear and said to Jiuyi, this little guy is my contracted beast. She felt that with Jiu Ye's fury, he wanted to turn this kitten into nothing but bones. No, it's like he don't even want this guy to stay. But they have a soul contract. If the cat is dead, she will be seriously injured. Too weak. The voice was low, and the intention to kill did not disappear. The kitten felt Jiu Ye's bloodthirsty look over its small body, no longer have the desire to quarrel with Ting. A pair of purple crystal eyes looked at Mu Qian, like asking for help. This man is scary. Master, you must save me. The appearance of this kitty is surely adorable, but she remembered its true character. She felt a little sympathy, but she can't do anything if this Ashura wanted him to disappear after all. Mu Qian looked at Jiuyi. A black and icy blue eyes are now seeing eye to eye. Mu Qian smiled and coldly said, yes, although he's a little weak, but he's still within the scope of my protection. No one can hurt him but me. Her dark eyes look so imposing right now, and her tone sounds like a warning rather than an answer. Even though he is strong enough to kill her without difficulty, there were times when she had to compromise in the face of his strength. But once he touches her bottom line, she won't easily back down. Jiu Ye's thin lips pursed, and his cold eyes fell on the body of the Mu Qian. If there is someone who can talk to him rudely like that and is still alive, I am afraid that only the woman in front of his eyes will fit the criteria. She deserves to live her life in full bloom, instead of turning into a pile of bones that will forever be lost in this world. So he let her say that to him, and was still alive. His thin lips were slightly open, he said. Fine. The ones you wanted to protect, I won't make a move on them. The black figure, like a ghost in general, disappeared in front of Mu Qian. Mu Qian's palms are filled with cold sweat. At that moment, she was certainly frightened. Xianyuan Jiuyi, This person is too dangerous. In the Purple Moon Kingdom where the strong is respected, weaker ones should bow their heads upon seeing them. She didn't think that it will work just like that. Woody at this time was also shocked. His owner is also obviously weak, but in order to protect him from the unfathomable man, she bravely went against that man. He felt that becoming her contracted beast is not so difficult to accept after all. Meow, Woody let out an adorable voice to appease Mu Qian's trembling heart. Woody Tianxia literally means as the unparalleled one under the heaven. I don't know if it is really his name or like a code name or something, so I will just keep using his pinyin name to make it short and simple. Me, OMG. We have an adorable guest for today. Please welcome Woody the Invincible One. Woody, meow. Thanks for also having me today. Me. So how was your first appearance on this novel? What do you feel right now? Woody. I was excited, meow. But at the same time, I thought that I will die on the spot though. Me. Is it because of Jiuyi? Woody. Nods me. Ugh. I know what you mean. I also thought that every time I have Jiuyi as a guest, he will kill me if I say a wrong thing. Me and Woody sighs heavily. The great dream of Woody Tianxia Master. You can rest assured. After my invincible power is restored, it is possible to let the man surrender, so he can't be so arrogant anymore. I'll make him pay. Just wait for me to beat him. After that, I'll let him be Master's slave, meow. Great, that's a deal. But, I have to say, that man is very good-looking, meow. He matches Master perfectly, meow. Woody touched his chin with his tiny paws. From that moment, Woody's new goal was to defeat Jiuyi and let him serve his master as her man-slave. Mu Qian's mouth is slightly raised, and the restlessness has been dispelled by the kitten's humorous idea. Let Xuanyuan's Jiuyi, the horrible man, be a male slave? In the whole Purple Moon Kingdom, only this cat would dare to say it. There are few more days left before the 7 days period end. Mu Qian continues to collect herbs while hunting for one-rank beasts, but she finds out that she has lost more than half of beast cores when she checked her storage. She is angry and said, Woody, you are looking for death. You dare to steal my beast cores. Woody quickly explained himself. He felt wronged. Master, in order to complete my great cause, I am eating these hard-to-eat low-level spirit beasts. I have made such big sacrifice, but Master doesn't even care about it, meow. I don't care whatever you do, but I will have to rely on those beast cores to complete my third assessment. Master, look at my strength. I become strong now. See? Do not be angry with me, meow. You did become strong. You are finally a first-rank beast. Mu Qian looked surprised at Woody's change. Since you've already become a first-rank beast, can you spit out my beast cores now? Mu Qian pinched Woody's ears. She started to talk about life and her ideals. Master, stop. I know I'm wrong. I will not eat it in the future without your permission first, meow. Woody begged for mercy. 7 days are almost finished and Mu Qian goes to the periphery of the forest, grabbed her things, and prepared to submit all the beast cores she collected to complete this assessment. Hey, but at this time there are several figures which block her path. Lord Mu, how did your harvest go? Do you want to send us a dozens of spiritual cores? No, wait, make that a 10 dozens of beast cores instead. I think that much should not affect you, doesn't it? You are going to rob me. Mu Qian calmly said. Hee hee. Smart. We are here to rob you. So take all of your beast cores out. Every time the actual test is gonna end. Some students like us rob other students. Even the academy allows these acts. These people laughed loudly. Mu Qian looked at them with a smile and laughed. I'll tell you guys good news. Just take out your beast cores to make up for Woody's lost and I will leave you alone. These people can't believe what they've heard, but when they're still in a mess. Mu Qian has already started to move. A beautiful purple figure swayed, and their bodies flew out inexplicably. Their bodies slammed into the trees that made them dizzy. Too weak, Mu Qian said helplessly. The strongest among these people is only a 4th-stage martial warrior. What a waste of effort, is what she thought. And these people look awkward and shocked. What the hell? Mu Qian is at least in the 5th stage spirit warrior. OGOD. 5th stage. A 5th stage spirit warrior who is under 16 years old can definitely become a Purple Moon country's dazzling star. Although they know that Mu Qian defeated Yu Su, but it is not as rumored that there is such disparity on their strength. Added with the fact that Yu Su is too stupid, he just stands in the whole fight and didn't fight back either. Hence they all thought that Mu Qian's original strength should not exceed the 4th stage. But reality proves them wrong. Mu Qian ordered. Hand it over. This lord does not want to waste time. A total of more than a dozen people only have 20 beast cores, and each of it only came from a first-rank beast. Mu Qian with disgust said, "That's it." They laughed cheerfully. "Of course we are not as good as your family, so that is our limit. Lord Mu, please do us a favor. I know you still have many, so can you please give us 1 beast core each? If we don't have 1 beast core, we won't be promoted to the middle CLA. SS. Their voices are a little choked. What a joke. Aren't they the one who wanted to rob first? Dream on. Mu Qian left these words ruthlessly. Along with their spirits, she disappeared. The 7 days, 3rd AS assessment was over and the counting of the beast cores had started. The first place in the first AS assessment was Mu Qian Shi. In the second one, it was the same, but what shocked everyone the most was in the 3rd AS assessment. The first place also goes to Mu Qian. Especially in the 3rd game, the achievements of Mu Qian can be compared to the 2nd place at all. This kind of achievement shocked the whole school. What? Mu Qian came back alive, and even got the 1st. Xinyuan Jia was furious. Wow. Mu Qian, the waste material in the last AS assessment, actually got the 1st place. It is a miracle. You are clearly behind the news. Mu Qian defeated the little genius. Yu Su not too long ago. She's not the waste she used to be, but one thing is for sure. She's the overall 1st in the whole lower CLA. SS, she really is powerful. Mu Qian's achievements have been a blockbuster. The whole school is shocked at her performance, and the main waste material has finally risen up. Vice President's face is full of smiles for Mu Qian and said, "Student Mu Qian, due to your outstanding performance on the AS assessment this time, the whole committee agreed to make you a student of the higher CLA. SS, directly skipping the middle CLA. SS. Mu Qian does not care which CLA she will end up, as long as she's not the first student to be expelled from the Royal Academy of the Purple Moon Kingdom." Mu Qian nodded. I know. Mu Qian's reaction was too dull, and the vice president was somewhat disappointed. It is difficult for a person who is eligible to jump from lower CLA SS to higher CLA SS in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom within just 3 years. This is a great glory. How can she respond like this? Then Mu Qian added, "Vice President, I have to take a leave for a period of time. I am not sure how long it will take." Vice President's face was frozen. "This is a 1 in a million chance. You just upgraded to the higher CLA SS this course," Mu Qian slowly said. "Vice President, the next year's school sponsorship fee." Her words have not been finished. The deputy headmaster burst into a big smile. "Also, you are born as a lord of a large family. You can't do this every day. As long as you can partake IP8 in the final AS assessment, you can do it at other times. If you have something to do, I will give you a recommendation." "Then thank you, Vice President." Mu Qian let out a short laugh. Mu Qian is ready to leave, already done at packing her things. She had not seen Jiu Yi in the dormitory since then. It is estimated that he is also bored to continue attending to the academy, and he will surely not come again here in the future. Lord! The coachman was on standby at the school gate, waiting for the arrival of Mu Qian Shi. However, when Mu Qian opened the curtain and prepared herself to get on the carriage, her face suddenly froze. There is a living person in her carriage. The person sitting in the carriage has a glamorous, enchanting, and beautiful face. His hair is as black as a raven's feather and flows to his shoulder like a waterfall. He sits inside the carriage leisurely and indifferently. The pair of icy blue eyes stares at Mu Qian. "Lord, what's the matter? I'm back earlier than expected. Happy New Year, dear readers. Hope you also had a joyful week like me, but all good things must end. So I have work for tomorrow already. SK. But since it's the start of the year, I'll post another chapter today. Yay! You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.